All right, we're officially recording.
Okay, welcome to the tutorial. If you came here to learn something, you're in the wrong place. I love how we say that at the beginning of every single episode and then proceed to drop sick knowledge on everyone. So,
Yeah, get learned, scrubs.
By the way, I just want to point out that there's four of us, and by proxy, that means four different definitions of sick in terms of knowledge.
I have corona.
I have
Sure.
osteoporosis.
Today we
I'm
talking
just a
about the
bastard.
big granddaddy of the video game world, or at least the modern video game world.
No, this would only
Doom
be
and the creators of Doom.
This would just be
We're
the
gonna have to
weird
go through a
uncle.
few things to get to Doom, but so I actually have a document that I did research for.
Oh
You
my
know,
god!
I feel like
Like
that's been
last time.
stated
Research.
over the last 3 episodes. Somebody's been like, "I have a document. Just fucking read it."
My
You don't have
research,
to flex on us
my
like you're
research
a
for this
nerd.
week- my research for this week was just booting up Doom 3.
essay.
My research for this week was just turning on my Xbox and booting up Doom 3.
Oh fuck you! Why did you do that?
Good. You'll be the only one who has anything to say about that game on this entire
Yep.
podcast.
I
Probably.
mean, that's not
Doom
accurate.
3. It sucks. We'll get there.
What do you mean that's not accurate?
All right. So
Yeah, play
Doom
Doom
was
3.
created by a company called id Software Incorporated, which is now id Software LLC, owned by ZeniMax, which is the owners of Bethesda Software. But we'll get there. So that was established on February 1st of 1991 by John Carmack, Adrian Carmack, no relation, John Romero, and Tom Hall, with the help of Jay Wilbur, who was
John
the
Romero.
business manager person.
Was it who was the id team mom? It was Donna something.
I don't know. It wasn't in the wiki page.
She's listed in like at the end credits of basically every id game from like the 90s, which is I think when they started actually onward.
I don't know. It was a friend of John Carmack and John Romero. I know that.
Donna Jackson, office
Yes.
manager from 1994 to present. She is listed in most credits as Teen Mom.
So despite my my thoughts that they were born from Apogee, I'm actually wrong about that. They were born from a company called Softdisk.
Where the fuck did Apogee
These were
come
people
from?
were
I thought
working at
Apogee was
Softdisk, and John Carmack invented a new way to do side-scrolling. And so they made like a whole PC remake of Super Mario 3 and tried to convince Nintendo to let Super Mario 3 enter the PC market. And Nintendo said, no, we want to keep that on our proprietary stuff. So, but someone from Apogee, I believe the owner of Apogee, Scott Miller, noticed this and was like, I'm your biggest fan, John Romero. I wish I was joking about that, but no, that's exactly what he did. He contacted the four of them because the only name he remembered was Romero's. He contacted the four of them by sending fan letters to John Romero, which Romero figured out was fake because they all came from the same address. And he said, oh, I had to do that because your company would kill me if I tried to recruit you out of it. Or rather, a company would fire you if you were getting recruit letters. I didn't want to do that to you. So then the four people, John Carmack, Adrian Carmack, John Romero, and Tom Hall, started working like late to create id as a company. And then they were
really
proposing... What?
As a side note, because I was quite surprised to be wrong about that. Apogee Games is 3D Realms.
Yes.
It used to be Apogee Games.
Yes, that I know.
So Apogee and id have developed various Commander Keen games. That's like a shared IP between their companies. So they were very, very closely tied. Like I'm reading about Apogee right now. Apparently they were all great friends with id. And so there was a lot of cross early on in the day. I don't know how that relationship is today.
Apogee was the one who pioneered the shareware system, which is the first part of the game comes out on shareware, and then you mail order the rest of the game.
The demo. Yeah, I'm aware.
Because the mail order system was a thing people used back then.
Yeah, that's actually how
Um,
Netflix started. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mail
Yeah,
Yeah.
order.
that's why they were a contender with Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That was in fact how they defeated Blockbuster was
Mhm.
by becoming popular enough
So
because you can just
basically,
order
Apogee
movies
just took
online.
notice of these guys and went, "Yo, your company's not doing anything for you. You wanna slide on this way?" And they're like,
Slide
"We'll
on
make our
over
own
to our
company, thanks.
DMs, and by
But
DMs
we'll
I mean
let you
director
distribute the
management.
games we make." So they made their own company, which is id, but they distributed through the shareware method. They distributed through Apogee for about a few years, probably 5 or 6 years. They kind of started walking away from that about the time they came out with Doom 2. So their first major project was Commander Keen, and Commander Keen was officially an Apogee title at the time. It got to put their name on it, but it was an Apogee. It was basically an Apogee title, and it continued to basically be an Apogee title for most of the games.
But it is technically owned by id Software today, so
It was created by id Software. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if it was owned today by id Software.
Like I'm looking at the
So
Commander Keen
obviously in
series, and it's like
1991, when they announced that they were their own shit, they left Softworks. And then they proposed Wolfenstein 3D after hiring Wilbur and Kevin Cloud. Well, Jay Wilbur and Kevin Cloud. I should make that
I
specific.
think Kevin
Jay
Cloud,
Wilbur was mentioned earlier.
isn't he like their executive
You say
producer or
Wilbur,
something
and the
like
first
that?
thing that I think of is a tall, lanky, annoying British man.
Who
Yeah,
Wilbur
he's
said?
their executive producer.
Yeah, Wilbur Sutton.
He's been their executive
So,
producer as long as I've been on this planet.
The fun thing is, while they were using the shareware method of distributing games, Apogee would go on to call themselves the father of id. I don't know if that was like cool with everybody, but I'm assuming that either they didn't have a choice or they were cool with it. But they were
Considering
not
how,
technically the father of id.
at least publish wise, what I'm reading right now, like they were all like very, very close friends. So it's
Whoa.
probably-
Oh yeah.
I've just discovered there's apparently a Commander Keen animated, and I can't imagine that being great because do you know how much wanton death there is in that series?
See, the other
A
thing is I
lot.
unironically enjoy Mighty Morphin Power Rangers today, so I probably would enjoy Commander Keen.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
they
Commander
had
Keen was a trip
um,
for sure.
I didn't know there was
Yeah.
an animated series.
Yeah, I just found out.
You like looking shit up while we're talking about it.
Well, obviously.
So we actually have to start with Wolfenstein 3D if we're going to talk about Doom, because Wolfenstein 3D was the first major PC first-person shooter, which they didn't call first-person shooters back then. They didn't even have a name for the genre back then.
It was also a
It was
reboot.
just Wolfenstein 3D. Was it?
Yeah, but like the original Wolfenstein was like Commodore 64 territory, like old one.
Was it really? I didn't know that. I did not know it was
Yeah,
a reboot.
Wolfenstein and Blake Stone came out very closely to each other. I think they use the exact same engine, actually.
But they had that whole like run around and very like stationary gun. And I think there was a Wolfenstein 3D 2 as well, but I can't remember.
I don't know. I do remember playing Wolfenstein 3D a lot, though. I remember Robot Hitler.
But of course, in 1993, they would come out with the video game that changed the world of video games. Now, I don't know how it is for everyone else, but Doom was the game that opened the gates to video gaming for me. Because, I mean, we had an NES, I think, before Doom came out. We may or may not have. But I think I played Mario and whatnot.
Are you? Is that E1M1?
Prior to.
It is E1M1.
Yeah,
yes.
E1M1. He is doing E1M1. That's the most famous Doom song, let's be honest.
Yeah, because of that crazy riff that just hits you out of fucking nowhere. It's been covered by so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
E1M1
Some of my
is a good
fondest
track.
memories. So, something I think we haven't really discussed on here openly necessarily is our dad was an IT tech, but he wasn't like just some dude who sits in a chair and helps like it says like, did you turn it off? And this was like a regional programmer level
Yeah,
person
dad's been
who went
doing
to who went to
IT
Vegas
project management
seminars
most of his life.
on behalf.
It's
Yeah,
not
but
just tech support.
he
Mhm.
was a programmer. He worked on programs for project management. One of his biggest programs that he worked on is the program that every fucking car manufacturer in the country uses, well, in the world uses, for like choosing like your options. So you know how you can go on and be like, I want this car, but I want it in red. And if you pick it in red, for some reason you can't have this engine option because for whatever stupid reason they don't do that. That's the ability to say I want red and then it'll automatically block out the options you no longer have because you picked red. That program, our dad was the
Was
project
on the
manager
team
to
that
make that
developed
program.
that. Yeah.
That's what he was doing at CWC in Minnesota.
He has like an award
So
still that he doesn't place any value on for some reason.
Yeah, well,
dude,
Mhm.
he has like a shelf of awards. He was
do.
asked to go speak at Vegas things. This was something I didn't know when I was a kid. He gets sent to go to these things in Vegas
I
every now
remember
and then.
he
And
went
the way
to
that he
go.
always worded it, it made it sound more like, oh no, they're just having me go to a training seminar or something.
Mhm.
No, he went and
And you
spoke.
find
He
out later,
actually
Dad
spoke at
gets to
some
go
of
stay
these.
at the Bellagio for free and talk
Right.
about
God, that was a
advanced
thing.
computer shit.
He comes
Yeah.
back with all kinds of free Bellagio merch he got. Like, how many fucking slinkies did he bring back home? I
Here's the
swear to
thing,
God.
He
when we
brought
were
back
like
like 40
7,
slinkies because he
when we
knew
were
we were
like
all
7, we're just like
destructive
Bellagio's just
forces
the
of
name of
nature.
something, whatever. It wasn't until we were like in our teens and
Yeah,
seeing
he's like,
like
oh,
what the
it's a hotel
Bellagio was
called the
in Vegas. We're like,
Bellagio, and
wait,
I was like, that
you
sounds like an
stayed
awesome
there?
hotel.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
not to mention,
I
It's like
remember
one of
being
the
a little
top
kid.
hotels.
do you remember?
I
Do you
remember being a
remember
little
where he was like, "Yeah, let's just go stay at the Biodome for like a weekend," or
Biosphere,
yeah,
yeah,
the
Biosphere
Biosphere.
2
Like, yeah, let's just go to
down in
Biosphere 2 for
South
a weekend. We
Arizona.
just fucking went. Like, I found out later, you don't just fucking go to that.
Yeah, you don't just go to the Biosphere 2.
some of this is brand new information to me.
You were around back
I
then.
know. That's the thing. Dad is one of those people who was very. He outwardly doesn't seem like that humble a
Didn't
guy, but when he's actually like up there, he doesn't go out of his way to brag about how great he
yeah,
is.
dad is like back when he was like working all the time and not where he is now, where he's like, struggling to pay rent because
It's
the
a
world
really
moved.
sad situation because now
Yeah,
that he's
the
older,
world moved
they're
on.
just like, you're too old to be a programmer. It's like, but I didn't stop
Yeah,
paying
yet in
attention.
the years,
Why?
there's the whole learn to code thing, and then like my dad's living proof that doesn't track.
No.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, he was the kind of guy who was like, oh yeah, I'm just like doing a thing because like for him the work was the mission, so to speak. Like he wasn't after the clout.
Right. He was
Yeah.
just
He was
doing
after
work.
the work. It was the
Mhm.
project that
He was just
mattered.
working. He was just making money. They just offered him the opportunity to go, hey, you want to come speak and do this, and
Don't worry, I gotta go to some
we'll pay
training
you like.
thing and just stay at the fucking Bellagio for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he
that
said it all
that is the single
nonchalant, like it wasn't a
craziest
big
thing
deal
about
too.
our father.
He would
It's
say it.
nuts,
He's
man.
like, I just staying at a hotel or whatever, and then
Yeah,
like
no, because I remember as a kid, he brought that stuff home, and I was like, "What the heck is this word in this crazy cursive font?" And he's like, "Oh, it says Bellagio. That's the hotel I stayed at." And I knew
Yeah.
Vegas
yeah,
was pretty cool, so I'm sitting there going like, "Wow, Bellagio sounds like a really pretty name. It must be like a really cool hotel." And then somewhere around like 14, 15, we got like just open access to the internet. And one of the first things I remember Googling was the Bellagio Hotel. And I was like, holy fucking shit.
That is
yeah.
a
No,
nice
this is like a
hotel.
5-star.
This is
This
a
is where
goddamn
the big
palace
name. Okay, so
next
that's a
door to Caesar Palace.
huge side rant to go off of. What I meant to say about that was more just to establish like my dad wasn't just some random IT dude who sits in
We're here to talk about games.
chair.
Now let's talk about our awesome dad for the next 15 minutes.
The reason I bring that up though is just like some of my fondest memories of gaming and the reason I got into FPSs in the first place and gaming generally was because I go in my little 5-year-old
I'm
self and
playing
my dad
Quake
would be
2.
playing Doom on the computer, which we couldn't watch Matrix because oh no, there's a sex scene, but we can watch. 5-year-old me can watch my dad blasts demons into gibbly bits.
Yeah, because it's a very
Totally
Christian game.
It's super
yes,
Christian.
you're doing the Lord's work.
See, you guys remember
So-
watching him play Doom. I remember watching him play Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Well,
Yes,
before he
we'll
had
get there.
before he had Return to Castle Wolfenstein, I remember Mom still has footage of this somewhere. Dave,
love how I
me,
don't
and
get to
Steve
finish my
all Dave,
Hold
me,
on.
and Steve were watching Dad play Quake 2 and all staring intently at his computer screen while he makes a precarious jump. And in the video, like, we all lurch forward.
Yep,
Yeah,
we sure
we're just
did.
like,
See,
Ah.
yeah.
Good
See,
times. But yeah, Mom
See-
has footage of that somewhere still.
the difference is because I'm so much younger than you guys. It was less of watching Dad play video games and watching you guys play video games for me.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
by the time you were like self-aware of yourself and interested,
Y'all were
in
gaming, and I was
Yeah,
busting
we
into
were
your
already-
PCs to be gaming.
Yeah.
so what I was trying to say with some of my fondest memories is we'd sit down, or like I'd either be sitting in his lap or in a chair next to him, and I would ask questions because I didn't understand what was going on the screen. He'd pass a bush, and I'd be like, "What's that? That's a bush. Why is it that the bush always looks the same and it doesn't change?" And my dad would sit there and explain programming concepts to me in baby speak, basically.
Right. Okay. So then why is it that he
Why
doesn't
does he have
understand
such
that
a
the
problem
door
with
doesn't
doors?
open?
Yeah, it's a great
The
question.
doors don't open.
Because if he was the programmer, he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Don't make it a door if it's not gonna open. Make it a wall."
Yeah, that's more his personal
That's
taste.
like
He'd be
personal
like,
flavor choice.
yeah, his opinion is that if it's going to be a wall, don't flavor it to make it look like a door. Don't because if it looks like a door, I should be able to open it and go into whatever's beyond that.
I guess that makes sense.
That's his opinion. He's less upset about unopenable doors in more modern games because a lot of the times they give you ways to get around the door. But going back to just Doom generally, I don't know like how that translates to everyone else. If everyone else has that sort of experience of like Doom being the thing that opened gaming. I do remember Doom was the biggest controversy, and Doom was probably the biggest PC game for a long time. And FPSs weren't called FPSs. We didn't call them first person shooters. For probably about 5 to 7 years after Doom came out, they were all called Doom clones. In fact, Halo, when it first came out, was still being called a Doom clone. It was right at
You
the
know
edge
what?
of that.
What really truly is a Doom clone? Fucking
The new Doom
Chex
games?
Quest.
Chex
Well, yeah,
Quest.
Fucking Chex Quest.
That's literally just a reskin of Doom.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's
all
what
it
I
is.
mean.
Also, can I talk for a brief moment? We can talk about this on a different episode in more detail. But Saints of Virtue was definitely a Doom clone.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. A terrible and amazing Doom clone. Yes.
I feel like we'll have an episode where we talk about religious games like
We
that.
should talk about that and what's it, Captain Bible or whatever it's called.
Captain
Like
Bible.
the fucking Christian games that tried to
Dude,
make themselves seem really,
that
really
one that was
cool.
like a board game, and all I remember was the one guy who was like, "Yes, my lord."
Jewish, my lord.
Yes, my
My
lord.
lord.
Oh my
I
god.
don't
Yeah.
remember the name of that
I
game.
have-
I don't
yeah,
remember
that
what
was
it
like,
was.
I think it was called Bible Quest.
I have the wiki page for it bookmarked somewhere. I'll have to
I
look
think
it
it's
up.
called Bible Quest.
Better get to digging.
Well,
I'll have to do that in a different episode. But
let
anyway,
us consult.
so Doom was
All-knowing.
I wrote some things about like what actually Doom did that made it a more made it like so important. So like I know this sounds really dumb, but back then this was one of the things that like really set it aside from other games, from like Wolfenstein and other first person shooters. It had like the gun swayed to mimic the fact that you were walking. No game before
Yeah.
Doom did that.
Yeah,
And
that was
that's-
new when they did that.
Like,
That was
if
a
you
new
if you
idea
looked at
when they
that
did
today,
that.
you'd be like, "Fucking whatever, that's dumb." But like back then, it was like, that's the most realistic walking animation we've ever had. Like, it was a big deal. The fact that there was an animated face of Doom guy that got bloodier and more beat up the more HP you lost was a big deal because they'd never done that before either.
Or alternatively, had glowing fucking eyes when you picked up invulnerability.
Yeah, and you're just like, I am God.
Yeah,
Like,
God
Kame
will
desu.
be unable.
Yeah.
Hey, Zeta.
Then
Yeah.
they had two other things that were
Heaven
really big.
Quest.
Heaven
that's
Quest.
Fucking
My
Heaven
mistake.
Quest. We'll talk
Just
about
an
that in
old-
another
So-
episode, but damn.
They had a standardized system for determining their difficulty modes, which was basically no creature would ever become harder to kill. They would simply add more creatures into the environment based on difficulty.
And
So
put
if you
them in
had an
more
imp,
strategic
and an imp
areas.
took
True.
3 pistol shots to kill, an imp will always take 3 pistol shots to kill. But if you're in easy mode, you only get 1 imp. If you're in normal mode, you get 2. If you're in hard mode, you get 3. If you're in nightmare, you get 5. And if you're in ultra nightmare, go fuck yourself.
Hey, but that's the most funnest one.
Oh my god.
The thing
There's
I
a
hated about Ultra
2019
Nightmare
film
in
called
the
Heaven
original
Quest.
Doom
I
was that
see that.
everything comes back to life after
Dude, why are we
5
having two
seconds.
different conversations
I
here?
know. David's over here talking about it, and we're like, whoa, hang on. There's a fucking movie for
Heaven
Heaven
Quest.
Quest?
There's a movie for Heaven Quest. What? Based on Pilgrim's Progress. Okay, so it won't be completely bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so that part where we at the beginning where we say if you're here to learn something, you're in the wrong place. Yeah, we're very easily
Exhibit
distracted.
A.
To be fair, 2 out of 4 of
Welcome to
two-
ADHD
I was gonna say
stream.
2 out of 4 of us have ADHD, so
Yeah. And it's
Squirrel.
not you two.
it's not me or
I'm
Dave.
actually, no,
Yeah.
no, I am
Ah.
on fucking
No.
topic.
I
So
think I
here's the
might have
thing.
autism. Though,
Here's
but,
the
you know,
thing.
that's a different topic
off
altogether.
off stream, RGB has been telling me like, I'd appreciate it if you'd stay more on topic and didn't like cause all these like.
That's
so
an
I am,
off-topic
like,
question.
Trying to
No off-topic
trying
questions.
to
Well,
You
laser
will be
focus
stopped.
on
yeah,
this,
because
and
when
now
I
he wants to go start 500 different
because when
conversations.
I edit the thing, it's like, yeah, we'll start a conversation. We'll be like, yeah, so id Software, it started in this year, and then like 2 minutes later, we're like, oh my god, have you had the quesarito from Taco Quest?
Yeah.
It's just
Taco
like,
Quest.
what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah,
We're talking
but
about
I'm
Taco
just
Quest,
saying, like,
obviously, you fucking old man.
You tell me like, yo, just try to stay more on topic. You breach all these things and like start these. So I was like, all right, no, I'm gonna actually write up a
Yeah, but
document
then
this
somebody
time. I'm gonna be on topic.
somebody fucking mentioned Heaven Quest. God damn.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear shit from you anymore.
So if you'll just stay on
I mean,
topic
it's
a
his
little
show,
bit.
so
I don't know. You want to stay on topic? Weird.
that's an off-topic question.
You didn't share the document with anybody else. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
No,
okay
I
with
didn't.
that. I didn't share it with
Neither did
anybody either.
Beard share the document with anybody last time. So I was like,
I
I'm
am
not gonna Google
awaiting your
document this thing this time.
continuation
Fuck it.
with bated breath.
As I
Well, I
speak,
didn't make
people
a
will come up with
document.
things to talk about.
I didn't write a document up for Destiny because I knew we didn't need one.
Oh no.
Yeah, the
We
funny
did
part
not.
is that was our longest one yet,
And I didn't do that much
And
and there
talking.
was no document for it.
No. No. Well, that's because we all were very personally, except you.
Except
we were
me,
all very
yeah.
personally
I felt
invested
very
in
lost.
Destiny. And there's definitely like a. See, this is one of the reasons I picked Doom. I was like, Destiny was an entire episode where we had been so invested emotionally into it, and they kicked us in the nuts for it, and so we're like fucking mad about it. And Doom is like such a feel good. Despite the
Yeah,
type
Doom
of
is
game
like,
it is,
hey, that's
Doom
my
is
childhood.
super feel good. Like we love this. It never hurt us.
It's
It
about
just
it's
turned us into
about
psychopaths.
straight up
But
murder, but it's wonderful.
yeah, but it was such an important part of our
Hey,
formative years.
hey, you know what? It teaches very important lessons. Like if somebody beheads your fucking pet rabbit, you fucking go behead their ass.
Yeah,
And then their friend's
that's for
ass.
sure.
And their friend's ass's ass.
Yeah, before you know it, you've murdered the population of 3 entire moons.
Yeah.
That is the story.
Yeah.
Not quite, but it's very close.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to mention too, so there was a standardized system for different difficulty modes, which was used by a lot of games after Doom. Prior to Doom, there wasn't really a standardized system, and then they also created the first and probably most addictive multiplayer platform in the United States
Oh, dude.
for the PC.
Di-
Um,
What?
to the point you didn't know about this because you weren't a multiplayer gamer. To the point that
Noob.
entire companies had to ban the program from their campuses in order to keep their workers from playing Doom at work because it was that addictive. And the country, like the nation as a whole, had never experienced something that
Oh, I
was
just
so
gonna.
wide-reaching and so just I want to do this so badly that I don't give a fuck that I'm at work right now.
I
That
just saw a
had
Tesla drive by
never
my window.
happened before.
You saw
Guys,
what?
Huh?
I just saw a Tesla drive by my window.
Oh, that doesn't.
Okay.
That's nothing.
Good
Those
for
are pretty common now.
you.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sad that I
It
don't
might
have
be
one.
getting remote controlled back to the Tesla company.
Yeah, you could
That's a
hit some
fun
boot
fact.
buttons on your on your wristwatch
Quick,
and
connect
be
to
like, I
Bluetooth.
summon car.
You press a button on your Irish
No,
wristwatch.
Tesla can now like locate your car by GPS and just drive it back to their company if you don't pay them.
Did your drunk ass leave your car at work? Don't think about that sentence too much.
How did I get home?
Doesn't matter. We
Um,
can drive your car back to you.
Can I sit in the back seat and the car drive itself home with me in it?
That's technically illegal.
Yeah.
Then
I
how is it
think
any
it
different
is,
from it
yeah.
driving itself without me in it at all?
What's
If I'm asleep in the back seat, what difference does it make?
man, that would be a hell of a pullover if it was speeding or some shit. And
Oh,
they like walk up to the window like,
I've seen the
"What the
videos.
fuck?"
I've seen the videos where like
He pulls over.
where a cop pulls them over and they're both fucking sleeping in the car, and it's like, what are you all doing right now? Well, the car's driving itself. Yeah, and
Yeah, have some fucking responsibility.
So more tangents, by the way.
yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're welcome. Courtesy
Oh
of
my
yours
god,
truly.
getting so offended by tangents. Tell us about
No,
Doom.
no. He has a point.
No. This is how I am.
He's
Okay.
over here doing the Kronk thing. No, he has a point.
Look,
Oh man,
this is just the way my brain functions. All right.
a lot of the
I
things
understand.
I was super surprised to find that a lot of like the basic ideas of how they ran their multiplayer servers and their multiplayer games were actually programming things that went beyond FPSs into things like real-time strategy and MMOs. And some of the things that MMOs do is actually information they took from the original Doom's multiplayer scene and imported into MMOs to help make their games more addictive for players. That I did not know. I had no clue Doom had that level of influence, but it does.
Oh heck yeah, it does,
Yeah,
bro.
Doom is sort of like the game.
So
Doom is
it
the game
affected
that
a
made
lot.
gaming a thing.
No, it's not, but it is the game that made gaming a thing in America, which became the largest gaming, like.
Also, I'm an
Community, I
American, so I
guess.
really don't care about other countries.
Doesn't matter then.
What I should say is Americans buy more games than anyone else,
Well, yeah, we're
and
also
that's
Well, I
because
wonder
a
Doom
why.
massive
Probably
existed.
because
country.
there's so much more internet in America and stuff like that in America than there is in most of the rest of the world.
You're over here like flexing America.
I mean,
America.
I'm just saying
I
that's
wasn't
the
trying to
reason
flex
why.
America.
I'm just
I'm
saying
just
that's the
saying that
reason
like
why.
gaming is what it is today because Americans buy so many games, and even things that are developed in other countries like JRPGs, there's a level of their development nowadays that is catered towards a Western audience because they make so much goddamn money off that audience.
Yeah,
They make more money
yes.
off
As
us than they
someone
do
who
off of
has
Japan.
over 700 games on Steam, I'm aware.
So
Touching that
I'm
Steam
just
list.
making a point. That entire market, that's the word I was looking for. It's the biggest gaming market in the world. That entire market would not exist if Doom did not do what it did. I arguably some other game would have come along and done it eventually, but
Mhm.
Doom is in our timeline. Doom is what did this.
Yeah, that's the best timeline.
Well, it
Yes.
was the best timeline up until like last year.
Yeah, well, up until they killed Harambe, and then now everything sucks.
Stale meme.
Stale meme indeed.
Yeah, except for the
Um,
meme where they're like, "Let's go back in time and save Harambe." That's when everything went downhill.
What
I
I
don't know.
wrote
I
on
have
here
a
was
feeling that
Doom.
most of the problems that
Doom
are
was the
currently
game
happening.
that made gaming an industry that mattered in America. Because beforehand, it was sort of like side projects of programmers that were doing much more serious things. But once Doom came out, it was like, oh,
This is
this
a
can make
legitimate
money.
business venture.
You mean I can fuck around with pixel art and make money off of it?
That
Heck
was another
yeah.
okay. So I learned about pixels while sitting and watching Dad play Doom. I asked him how some of the stuff worked, and he explained what a pixel was, and that the smaller we can make pixels, and the more pixels we can put into something, the more real it'll look. And I remember him telling me in like 1995, one day we'll be able to put so many pixels in an image that it will look like the real thing. And I'm like, we're there now. We are living in what he told me was the future.
Oh yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it's crazy to like
Yeah.
think about that.
And we still don't have flying cars, and we still don't have
We
robot
do, but
slaves
they're
to
all
do
very
our,
experimental.
we don't have robot slaves that clean our rooms for us.
Japan does.
I would
Honda
love to
straight
not
up
ever
has
do
a
that
waiter
I
because
mean,
AI.
we
we
do
have
have
to confront some
Roombas.
uncomfortable things.
We do have Roombas. That's like the closest thing that we have right now.
So
No, no,
does
no,
anyone
no,
else
no.
have anything
Honda
that we
has
want to
a
talk about?
bipedal Android with an AI that will recognize phrases and can be a waiter or a maid.
I should have expected that talking about Doom in its entirety would inspire a conversation about programming and other things we've made with programming. Because Doom was a very important program, and it was, to be fair, originally Doom was literally an open letter to the programming industry to say, look how fucking badass we are, hire us to do serious work, please.
I mean, yeah.
That's something. Can I talk about that for a minute? That's something people don't know. In the late 80s, early 90s, gaming was not an industry. Gaming was something making a video game was something a programmer did to show how good he was at programming. And that video game was just like a resume they could show people to say, look at this thing I programmed. I'm very good at programming. Please hire me to program real programs. Gaming wasn't considered like a thing. And the people who got into gaming in those early days, they were like the children of programmers and whatnot, which is what we were. So we got to see all of that happen. Nintendo was the only company at the time that really thought that gaming was worth investing money into. And it wasn't really catching on super hard in the West at the time.
Well, to be fair, Nintendo wasn't the first company on the block either. There were things like
Well, no,
Konami
Atari
before
was
them.
probably.
Atari.
And then, yeah, Atari.
I
I think
there was
Konami and
I
Atari are both.
don't
I think they're
know.
currently owned by Nintendo. Let me check that real quick.
Atari might be owned by Nintendo now, but they were definitely not owned by one or the other back then. Atari was its own thing. Atari, Nintendo, Sega. We're talking pre console wars, my friend.
Yes,
This is an
Atari is
era
owned
of
by Nintendo.
time when there was not a fight over consoles. Like we're kind of in like people jokingly call shit console wars right now. This is not console wars. In nowadays, we're dealing with there is a loyalty to like to a specific console company or something that exists in today's day and age. But reality check is that it's not there's not really a lot of serious fighting for market space.
Which just as an interesting side note, what would you call yourself a PlayStation loyalist?
No, I use PlayStation because a lot of my friends do. If everyone hopped over to another console, I'd hop over to another console.
I literally
mean,
only
I
hopped
wouldn't
over to
consider myself a
PlayStation.
loyalist to anything, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm a brand
definitely
loyalist to whoever gives me the product I like the best.
I'm
I
definitely
don't have brand loyalty. I have consumer loyalty.
yeah, I'm definitely a PC gamer, but I would also dare to say that if well, it's less of an if and more of a it seems to be the games that interest me are all on Nintendo
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah,
console games.
yeah.
The only reason
the
I jumped
new
ship
Monster
from
Hunter comes out on
Xbox,
Nintendo this month.
Yeah,
the only reason I jumped ship from Xbox over to PlayStation is because I was at a friend's one time and we played Call of Duty online on PS3, and we were not immediately inundated with 6-year-olds saying the N-word constantly.
and telling you about their relations with
Talking,
your mother last night.
telling you about their sexual escapades with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like at least a teenager,
that is
and
like
their
the
balls were
main
dropped.
reason
I was like,
I
holy shit,
don't.
I'm getting PlayStation.
That's like the main reason that I don't play multiplayer games ever.
Man, we just had that issue last night. I was playing
Fucking
Destiny,
tweaker
and
kids.
this chick asked if she could join us because we clearly had two people in a fire team, and we would have needed one more to do like nightfall or anything, and we ended up beef left.
Yeah. Because
And
I had to be responsible and go to sleep so I could be physically conscious for this.
so
Joke's
she
on
joined
you.
my
I
fire
haven't
team.
fucking slept since yesterday.
She joined my fire team, and then this other guy asked to join our fire team. It's funny now. You go back to D1, and so few people play D1 that when you get on there, everyone's like, "Yo, who wants to fire team up and do stuff?" We did the Nightfall and crushed it, and we helped what's her name with her Fallen Saber quest or whatever. And like it was an interesting experience because that guy sounded like an adult, but about halfway through the Fallen Saber quest, he's like, "Yeah, I have to leave, or I won't be allowed to play for a week." And I'm like, "How old are you?"
He's like, "Oh, I'm like 15."
I'm like 14.
Yeah, I'm like
My balls just
Goddamn
dropped.
growth
That's all.
hormones turning our kids into adults at
Goddamn it.
14 and shit.
I sound like Crunk. And that, but I'm like 12.
I doubt
It's
that
like,
strongly.
yeah, imagine what I'll sound like when I become an adult.
Suddenly his balls, like, I don't know, the opposite thing. He just gets high pitched voice.
so
And then he
they
sounds like
undrop and he's
Fred.
just like, "Hello." He
Dude,
sounds like
Fred is so annoying.
Major Pain.
No, Major Payne still had a fairly deep voice. He was just doing that nasal speech. He has that, you can hear the chest in the back of the voice.
So if anyone has anything else to say about Doom, the original Doom, now's the time, because now's where my document moves on to other things.
I do
only the
remember
original
there
Doom,
was
but you have plenty to say about Doom.
there was the version of Doom that was on the Game Boy. That was the one that I played.
There was a Doom on the Game Boy.
There was, yeah.
There
There was
was a Doom on
also
the Game Boy,
there
yeah.
was also a Doom 64, which again sucked.
Boy. We had that.
Dude, Doom got ported to a lot of things.
Oh yeah, it was
Doom
all
was
over
just
the
on the
place.
Game
Such a
Boy
big
Advance.
deal.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
It's
man.
a meme now to put Doom. Like, is this a programmable thing? Let's see if I can put Doom on.
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
Have you seen
yeah.
Doom on an
No
Etch-a-Sketch,
fucking
man?
shit, dude. I just took a screenshot of it.
Doom for
I can put it in the chat right now. I just took a screenshot of this, but like I literally was looking at my news articles yesterday, and This is what came up. This article that says fucking you could run Doom on 16 million crabs or 16 billion crabs.
What?
Yeah.
So you could
Someone
run
figured
Doom
out how to
on
make
a
Look at-
real life
gates
crab.
Somebody
with
Look
figured
in
out
the
how to
look in the
logic
chat,
gate-
man.
Logic gates based on crabs. So running Doom on crabs is a real possibility. What the fuck?
Exactly. What the fuck is that?
We are living in the Matrix. Everything is programming.
Everything can run Doom. What? I was gonna ask.
This
like,
guy has
why is
Doom
that
running on
You know what we need now? We need the crab wave animation, but we need somebody to just put E1M1 to it now.
Uh-huh. I was gonna ask why, like, that's the standard for why is it
This
can it
guy
run
is
Doom?
running
But
Doom
then
on a TI-83.
But then their whole
Because-
conversation we just had.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's because that's the standard. Because Doom changed everything. Dude, there are games coming out. Call of Duty is compared to Doom. Like
Modern
everything that
Doom
comes
is
out even
compared to
modern,
Doom.
well, I mean,
It
that was
is.
asking for it. But like, I mean, let's be honest. Shit comes out in the modern day, and people still go, but the baseline is Doom. Like, it's never going to be any different. Doom is probably, I would argue, Doom is probably the most influential video game to ever exist, and I doubt anything will ever top that.
I
It
think
was
it's funny
so-
that, like, with modern technology, if you're still comparing to Doom, it's like, yeah, you better be able to at least do that.
Mm-hmm. You want a cool calculator that you can use for advanced calculation? Well, it better be able to run Doom.
Better be able to run Doom. Yep.
Well, apparently, you can go as low
Can't
as a
run Doom as a piece of shit.
TI-83 and still run Doom.
Yeah, well, you can go
you
as
want
low
a
as an
you want a little personal digital pet that you can keep on your keychain at all times, and it'll make
Neil
noise.
Degrasse running Doom.
Better be able to run Doom.
People actually
I got a
run Doom like
TI-83 right here. I'm
Tamagotchi.
gonna see if I can get this shit to run Doom.
I don't know, but now I want to find out.
You want a Samsung Smart
I
TV?
bet.
Better be able to run Doom.
Hang on, I'm gonna Google.
I
I'd
this.
be
mean, it
willing to
should
bet
be
I
able to,
could
you
play
think.
Doom on my
If
TV.
you want to get a fucking fridge with
Just
a
my
computer in it, it better be able to run Doom.
Yep. You want to get a fucking, what is it? Like the running machine treadmill with a computer in it.
It better be able to run Doom.
Doom
Better
on a
be able to
digital
run.
Doom on a digital camera from 1998.
So,
Damn.
Be able to run Doom.
fun fact. The Planet Fitness just up the road from me recently posted because some dude came in overnight and pranked them by putting Doom on all their treadmills. So when they popped up in the morning, all their Doom, like all their treadmills, they turn them on all at the same time, and pretty much immediately they all started going.
Play Doom on a printer.
Yeah.
Xerox.
The Sansa Clip Plus.
I have one of those as well.
Doom on the Sansa Clip Plus. Jesus.
I was just saying, like, that's the standard. Everything goes for now.
An ATM? Doom on an ATM? Holy shit! This is a rabbit hole.
It is a rabbit hole.
Wait,
The
wait,
thing
I'm
is-
very curious as to what it is you just discovered, though.
Doom
Don't leave me hanging with a
Doom
reaction like
inside-
that.
Doom inside a Jeezy Doom arcade machine. They're running Doom inside of Doom.
Interesting.
Here's a question. Can you run Doom inside of Minecraft using
They have
redstone?
done it. They have done it.
Oscilloscope, which is either some kind of radar or some kind of medical device. I really couldn't tell you.
That's
It's
a, that's
it's
a
for
medical device.
ships. It's for ships.
They got that running Doom.
Yep.
Hang on, I'm gonna look
what is
this up.
this? What is
Doom in
this one?
Minecraft.
That's Doom on an ATM again.
Running Doom on a red.
So it went on to make a sequel to Doom called Doom 2 Hell on Earth, which basically said the story was that the demons came to Earth now, specifically to the hometown of the Doom Marine, because that's gonna happen. I don't know much about Doom 2 because I didn't play it very much. The only bit of Doom 2 I ever played was the fight against the Icon of Sin. Also, I had no idea why the Icon of Sin was jokingly referred to as John Romero's head on a stick everywhere, until I was watching Beef play, and Beef goes, "Heh, watch this," and he no clips through the
Yeah.
through the
Yeah,
Wait,
the
you
icon.
didn't know
icon,
about that?
and it's just like a stick with this dude's head on.
Put John Romero's
And I
head
was
on a
like,
stick.
I get the reference now. Oh, I don't
You
know if
John
I
didn't
Romero's
know
head on a
about
stick.
that?
at the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Well,
to the
I
first
mean, this
gaming
is
meme.
something I learned eons ago, but at the time, no, I didn't know about it. And Beef was the one who showed me. So I was like, oh, hi. That's
Hey,
why it's called John
hey,
Romero's head
Dave.
on a stick.
I may have just
What?
found. Well, I don't know if it's the most impressive, but it's pretty damn impressive. Doom running on
Was
a
it in the,
fucking pregnancy test.
What? I guess technically it has a logic gate.
Okay. Do you have to piss on it to shoot?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's probably a topic for another video.
I don't think that. I'm pretty sure that's just a meme. I don't think you can actually do that. That's like a chemical test. There's no actual
Well,
logic.
I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say,
No,
technically,
this one
there
has
are
an LED
computerized
screen on it.
ones.
It has an LED screen on it, and therefore is able to play Doom.
That's not all you need to play Doom, buddy.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
They will have the inside of that test has been modified in some way because a simple chemical test cannot run Doom.
I wouldn't doubt that there is a very computational pregnancy test out there that probably does have everything it needs technically to play Doom on it. But I don't think
by
your
the way-
average pregnancy test could do that.
By the way, to answer Jim's question, yes, I just found somebody running Doom on their Roku TV,
Yep, makes sense.
playing using only the Roku remote.
Doom being
Dude,
played.
I want to do that now.
Doom being played in Minecraft. Doom being played on a piano.
So
There's
I
the
want to shift
pregnancy
gears
test
slightly
again.
because
The
it
MacBook Pro Touch Bar.
some
Okay.
other game series that it made.
Yeah.
How many of you remember the original Quake?
Hell yeah, dude! I have it. I have
still
a
have
copy
it.
of it.
Yeah, I have a
So
physical
I never
copy of
got
it.
past
4
like the
feet from me.
first
I have
level
a
of
I have
the
a
original
digital
Quake.
I have a digital copy. That's the full version.
You never
I just-
got. What the fuck do you mean you never got past the first level of it? I got all the way to
Bro,
the.
are you
first
talking about
boss.
Quake 64,
I
right?
have the shareware version though, so
Do you-
We're
Yeah.
talking about the
So
shareware Quake
Okay.
version.
You're talking
So I
about the
played
one where you
Quake
get to the
64.
giant
I'm
giant
not,
red dude.
I'm not remembering this
Yeah, Cthon.
wrong, am I? Like, Quake was very doomy. It had a very
Well,
like
yeah,
there's
it
technology,
was.
but
It
there's
was
also
made by the same
Hold on.
people.
I know, but what I mean is it had a very like this is a technological world, but there's also like a very demonic presence kind of thing going on, and there's these like weird space gates that you move between to go between
Yep.
dimensions and fight the demon people or whatever. Doom 2, Quake 2 just threw that shit out the window. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Quake
just
2
it was
this
just
is 100% sci-fi. There is no demons here. Like
because the thing
just
was
took
with
a
Quake
hard
1,
left turn.
with Quake 1, it was like these arcane sort of alien demon things. They were
Mhm.
aliens,
Yeah.
but
Quake
there was
the name of the
elements of the
final
arcane
boss
to
of
it.
Quake 1.
Yeah, and the final boss's name was Quake. And then so after he's dead, the next threat was the Strogue.
Yeah.
And they are
they
fully
were a
technological.
Fucking
And if you-
massive militarized.
Yeah,
army.
if you think about it, they
So,
are a
what I-
horrific species because they're not even a species. They're like a
Yeah.
cyber virus.
Oh, yeah,
that
they're like a
melts and
patch.
reorganizes
They're
flesh to
patchwork.
They're
create
fucking patchwork
soldiers.
species. That's
Yeah.
literally what they are.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say
So
so what I
they're a
wrote here
they're
was
a cyber patchwork.
the Quake series of games, the first of which was much in the same vein as Doom, with a very technologically advanced but demonically influenced world, while Quake 2 would show an Earth invaded by a hostile and alien race known as the Strogg, who sought to harvest human biomass for the continued creation of cybernetic soldiers to push forward their conquest of the galaxy. In retaliation, humanity sent a fleet to the Strogg home planet of Strogos to devastate their infrastructure and assassinate their leader, the Macron. I didn't mention Quake 3 because I didn't play Quake 3 for more than 5 minutes. But Quake 3
I have played Quake 3 quite extensively because there's still an
I was gonna
online
say Quake
community.
3 Arena. Well, I mean, yeah, people love it even to this day. In fact, Quake 3 Arena was probably the main thing keeping it alive for a long time.
Quake 3 Arena
some-
is how they funded Quake 4.
I
Yeah.
actually didn't play Quake 3 Arena.
But see,
Haven't
for
You
me
should.
at the time, I was a very
super fucking
beard
fun.
style, RGB beard style of I don't do multiplayer games, so I didn't play it. Also,
Meanwhile,
I
the
found
200% extrovert over here, I crave multiplayer.
What
I like
I
my
don't
single player
can't
games,
either.
don't get me
is
wrong, but
it's not
sometimes
so
I'm
much
just
that
like,
I'm not
I
into
want
multiplayer.
to talk shit and kick ass.
I was just not into that community style of multiplayer.
I will say I've been cussed out by people older than me more often than not while playing Quake 3. There's
See,
all
I think
people
that
like
was
Yeah, I
Dad
wonder
Age.
one of my
why.
main
Maybe because
issues
it's
with
only
Quake
fucking
3.
boomers that play that game.
There's all people
I
like
was
Dad
saying,
Age that played
it's
it at
different.
first.
It's a
Now
very
it's all
different
people like
experience.
Jim's
So, like,
age.
you play Halo, and you have like the light tone 12-year-old who's like, like attitude.
That sounds about
Whereas
right.
you
Yeah.
go, you go on Quake 3 and you fuck up, and it's like you're a fucking failure, piece of shit of existence. How dare you? Your father must be disappointed that he even had you.
Yeah,
And it's
they're
like,
like, this
and
is
the
this why
problem
your
is,
dad left
this
you. It's
isn't
why
like
you ain't
this
got no
isn't
money.
people
It's
like
why your
mean
mom
against you.
hates
These
it.
are like 40-year-old
That's why your
dudes
grandma dead.
legitimately.
What
Yeah.
shoes she got
picking
on
apart.
in her casket?
And the thing is, though, they know how to say it in a way where it really does
Yeah,
dismantle you, and
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
like,
They're
"Fuck,
like,
I did that." Because like
They-
the 12-year-old yelling at you is like, "Meh, I've
right.
dealt
They're
with
like,
it. It doesn't
they're
hurt
like,
anymore. I've developed my armor
I
for that."
fucked your mom, but then like these guys are like, yeah, I bet you can't even wipe your ass with both hands, huh? And you're like, oh god,
And-
that hit me in a way I didn't even realize I could be hit.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
I
no,
had
you
armor
get
in that spot.
you get the
Jesus.
6-year-olds in Halo and fucking Call of Duty who's all just like N-word, and then you get then you go to some of these older games that have older communities, and they're just like, yeah, well, your credit card's maxed out. And it's just like,
It's like, yeah, that's a bank account is negative, loser.
Like, they know what really hurts. Like, you're a failure.
Your
And you'll never
credit
be
card's
anything or anything
maxed out.
anyone important.
What the fuck?
I bet you can't pay rent this month, loser.
that's real
Yeah,
pain.
right?
when somebody
I don't
online
expect
tells
someone
you
to
you're
be the
poor.
real
Oh my
humans.
god, savage.
I bet you have a
That's
credit
great.
score under 600.
Wow,
Your
did you,
credit scores under 600.
wow, did you drop out of college?
To
Holy
escape
shit,
from
what a
the
surprise.
Horror of your real life.
Yeah, they weaponize the boringness of your real life.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a whole nother experience. And I hated it, so I never went back to it.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, Quake 3 these days is all people like Steve and Jim's age.
That's still like
Yeah, I
7
wouldn't
years
doubt it.
difference, dude.
That's like, yeah, that's a pretty big age gap.
Yeah. It slowly aged down as it became more and more like retro, because retro gaming is like its own thing. So the older it got, the younger people played it, which is a weird dichotomy. But yeah, that's who plays it now. I guess it's because it's things like now it's available on like Steam. You can just buy it in the Xbox store. There's all kind. It's far more accessible than it used to be. It used to be you had to have a PC that could run Quake 3 and an internet connection and know where to go to connect to the servers.
Yeah, that was actually a struggle back then. Like nowadays, we take it for granted the fact that like how a computer with like internet and all this good shit on it. And like back in the day, it's like you're running a fucking gateway tower that barely connected at all.
I still have one of those.
Gateway
Yeah.
Tower? Wow.
Now I feel old.
I still have a
mean,
tower.
Gateway still
Wait.
makes tower computers, just like the gateway towers from back when I'm talking about are garbage compared to now.
Oh, of course.
But then Quake 4 was just sort of an expansion on Quake 2. What I liked about Quake 4 was like we get to see the ships, and it had more of a. They kind of mixed the Quake 2 thing with like the feeling of like trench warfare in Call of Duty and whatnot. It was a very unique
Dude,
experience.
Call of Duty
playing
hasn't been
through
doing
Quake
trench
4.
warfare since World at War.
Yeah, well, World at War was out about the same time Quake 4 was, so yes.
Huh.
And now we'll come to the part of the discussion that Ringo has. Doom 3 was also made at some point. We don't talk about Doom 3, though the intent was to make Doom a game with more horror thriller vibe to it. This caused gameplay issues for shooting and killing demons and transformation of demonic bodies into meaty kibble to suffer greatly, to the chagrin of
So
most Doom fans.
so the big problem with Doom 3 is that they tried to take a run and gun franchise and turn it into a survival horror game,
Yeah,
Yeah,
which was
that's
not
the
a good
main issue
idea.
with it.
That doesn't
it,
even
it was it
sound
was
like a
just
good
it was
idea.
lost on the established fan base. It was
Look, listen.
it was a very off-brand game.
As a
Yeah.
standalone
But
game
it's
by
not a
itself,
bad game.
as a
It's
standalone
perfectly
game,
fine.
it's not a bad game. It's well put together. The level design is good. It's balanced well. Nothing's unfair about it. It just
I
isn't.
actually
It
quite
doesn't
enjoy
feel
Doom
like a Doom
3.
game. It just doesn't
Yeah,
feel like
because
Doom.
I remember me and Dad reading in PC Gaming and them talking about like how scary everything was, and I just remember both of us reading this and going, "That's not what Doom is."
See,
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I remember was the old
The
G
graphics are
G4 the
great.
old G4 Tech TV bit where they were like, "Yes, you can do green and gray and
that
greenish
was
gray."
Quake
And
4, and
greenish
that's talking
gray.
about
Yeah.
multiplayer. That was
Yeah.
Quake 4 and talking about
Um,
multiplayer.
Mm.
Doom 3, I
Another
like
thing
Doom
that
3
G4
because
did was
because
they
it's a
talked
perfectly
about
good game. But
they talked about
the
Quake
thing
4
is,
and said, "Also, I can use my flashlight and shoot at the same time. Take that, Doom 3."
Yeah.
okay, rewind
Yeah.
a bit here.
So
My turn
okay.
to talk now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do like Doom 3 because it's like Jim just said, it's a perfectly good standalone game. The thing that turned people off of it is you aren't the Doom Slayer in that game. They mortalize you more.
Yeah. You're
You're,
just
you're
some
like
dude.
you're
You're
like
just
a
some
normal
marine.
person playing the game. So you can still absolutely kick ass, but you don't have like crazy FPS typical protagonist superpowers.
Yeah. And
Yes, it
by the
was
way,
Doom's first attempt to like walk into the new world of FPS that didn't exist when Doom was new.
the issue with not being able to hold your flashlight and a weapon at the same time was
Annoying.
it was kind of fixed in Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, which is like Doom 3.5.
You can duct tape
Uh,
it.
but
Three and a half.
it's just only on the pistol.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not that much better.
See,
No.
what was better? What was
We'll
better
give you a flashlight on the weakest gun.
was when Doom 2 or not Doom 2, Quake 2, they were like, "Hey, you know what this game is missing? Fucking chainsaw. Let's add one." And then they
Oh,
did.
so I thought this whole time that the Doom 3 duct tape was like game standard. It was a mod that was released 3 days after the game was.
Wow.
Because the community was like, "Fuck that, that's not Doom."
So it was a
It was, let's
the
be
name
real.
refers to
It was
no duct
Resident
tape in
Evil.
Mars, bro.
It was Resident Evil with the Doom title on it. Is what it was.
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
what
That's
Doom
fair.
3 was.
I mean, like,
And the title, the description of the mod was under the crazy presumption that a roll of duct tape has to exist somewhere on the Mars facility. The duct tape mod sticks flashlights to your machine gun and shotgun.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's a mod.
Yeah.
That's not standard. I'm
Well,
still
when I
waiting
played
for.
Dad's copy of Doom 3, I guess he had that mod because duct tape was a thing.
I am still waiting for the Doom 3 flashlight only run on Nightmare mode. Okay.
I'm
I
sure
haven't seen
Dream's working on
seen
it.
it yet. I haven't seen
You
it yet.
sure who?
Dream.
Dream? As in the Minecraft YouTuber?
Yeah, you know, the guy with incredible luck. He's just
Oh.
lucky, guys.
Okay, that's where we were going with that. I was just like, in my head, I was like,
You think I'm
Dude
going to
plays Minecraft.
unironically say that I want
He's
Dream
gonna,
to work
like-
on anything?
Dude,
I was
Dream
just sitting here in
started
my
making
brain-
music and it's not
in
that
my
great.
head, I was like, 1, he hates Dream. 2, Dream is a Minecraft YouTuber. Why the fuck would he touch Doom, other than to play Doom in Minecraft as a meme?
Probably to play Doom and Minecraft as a meme.
Yeah.
Eh.
I was gonna say also though about Doom 3. Most of the enemies are like, pretty standard, Doom shit, like the imps, the fucking the Hell Knights
Or
and
humans,
the other
et
ones.
cetera, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
They're
the
all
image that we have in modern Doom for Hell Knights, I'm pretty sure that started in Doom 3.
It started in Doom 3, yeah. They're all pretty fucking standard, like pretty good, well designed. And then you just have the Pinky, which looks like a tumor bear, and the back half of it is just wheels.
I
So
Yeah,
here's
which
the
is
thing. The Doom 3 and the Doom movie were based in the same universe, and Pinky was a nickname given to this
Given to the
character
doctor
in the
guy. Yeah.
Doom movie, who, after exposure to the hell waves coming through the super portal, became
turned
the
into
thing you
that.
see in the game, which apparently somehow became more of that thing so that it can exist in the Doom 3 video game.
Right. But like it's so ugly. It's just like a cancer bear, like a tumor with like wheels on the
Yeah.
back. It's so
Yeah,
gross.
Well,
this
that
look
was
like
DreamWorks'
mobile
take on
teratoma.
fucking. Yeah, wasn't it?
DreamWorks.
I don't remember if it was DreamWorks.
DreamWorks? It was not DreamWorks.
No, it wasn't
The,
DreamWorks. My bad.
the
Universal
Doom
Studios. That's what I'm thinking
movie
of.
that has The Rock in it is definitely not
Not DreamWorks.
Yeah,
That is the
DreamWorks.
no.
wrong. You're correct.
Yeah,
That is the
no.
wrong studio. I
That's
meant
way,
Universal
way off.
Studios. I was trying to think the planet, the world. Wait, was that DreamWorks? And then like,
Oh,
no,
that's the
DreamWorks is
moon.
the moon. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what is it then? What is it then? What is it then?
Oh, right.
Universal.
I
No.
forget. Carl Urban is in it too. He's the
Yeah,
main protagonist. He's Reaper.
yeah.
He's the guy that gets turned into the Doomslayer.
He's the guy that has the one good moment in the movie where you just see like the first person
Yeah.
the Doomslayer
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
While they play E1N1 in the background,
Yeah.
and there's just go, and to me, that entire scene was just the people who made the movie going, "We're sorry."
Yeah, and then the
It's
end it's like here you go, fight the Rock on space drugs. It wasn't a
it's
great movie.
it was
it
was
really
by
wasn't.
it was by the Warner Brothers, in fact.
Was it? I thought
Yeah.
it would have been Universal.
Universal released a second live action adaptation direct to video titled Doom Annihilation.
Yeah, that one is a lot more recent, I'm pretty sure.
That's
isn't
not the one with Carl Urban in it though.
No. That one's
Apparently,
more recent though, isn't it? Doom Annihilation.
Let's see, 2019. Yeah, that's pretty new. It stars Amy Manson, Dominic Malcolm, Luke Allen Gale, Nina Bergman. Sorry, not Bergen. Of whom I'm
that one I'm pretty sure is based off of Doom 2016.
Looks
so
like,
here's a fun fact I didn't know until doing research on it. Do you guys know the video game Rage?
Yep.
It's very like
I'm
Mad
aware of
Maxy,
the Rage series,
Borderlandsy
but I've never actually
games.
played it.
That is made by id.
That's another
yes,
id
I was
game.
well aware of
game
this.
series.
That's id's
made by
Borderlands.
id.
Yeah.
And it is a competitor to Borderlands, and it is
nowhere near as popular as what that is.
No, but I'm told it's very, very good. I haven't played it yet. But it was distributed by EA, so no one really thinks about it as
That's
an
why
game
we
because
haven't played it.
EA slaps because EA is terrible. EA slaps their
EA
name on
is
it,
like
and
pay
then
for the
everybody's
game
like,
and then
"Ugh."
keep paying for the game. Otherwise, you can't
Yeah.
play the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I don't like about E EA.
So in 2009, the id Software was acquired by ZeniMax and renamed id Software LLC because now it's a limited liability company.
Mm-hmm.
And they immediately began work with Bethesda Softworks on their new coup de grace, which would come out in 2016, simply titled Doom.
Bro,
boy howdy,
Doom
Doom is one of those games that
2016.
proves That old school is the best school.
Doom
For sure.
2016 was so fucking good.
It
was
was
so
litty
good.
titty,
That's
bro.
still lit. Yeah.
The multiplayer
Still
is the
really
fucking sweatiest thing on earth. The Doom 2016
is.
multiplayer.
No, that would be Curse of Osiris or Trials of Osiris.
Trials of Osiris and
Trials of
Destiny.
Osiris and Destiny.
Okay,
I've
Yeah,
except-
that's
never,
pretty.
Okay,
I have
so it's
never in
second
all of
only
my
to Trials of
Halo
Osiris.
Call of Duty playing seen anything. Hell, I don't think fucking Fortnite and Counter Strike combined have the amount of sweat that Trials of Osiris has.
Bro, I was
More like
telling this to
Trials
Beef last time when we were
Fusion.
playing Destiny. I was like, the only
Huh.
times I've ever played Trials was either like I had this one time there was an achievement when Trials came out that was to carry someone who had never been through to the lighthouse to the lighthouse. And these two guys approached me and asked if I'd done Trials to the lighthouse, and I was like, no. Trials is like the pool of sweat. I don't go there. And they're like, perfect, come with us. We just want to carry you to the lighthouse and get the achievement. We will do all the work. You don't have to do shit. Just stand in the back and don't die. And I was like, dope, I'll take free guns.
My problem,
Yeah, I
not
got
to switch
carried
this
as
to
well.
another Destiny episode, but the problem with Trials is Trials has more sweat than Belle Delphine has bathwater.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
That
That's
was
a
such a
great way
terrible
to
That's
put
joke.
it.
that's
a
an
great way
impressive
to put it.
amount.
Yeah.
Oh, so distasteful.
So I haven't actually been on the Doom 2016 multiplayer, so I have to take Jim's word for it when he says that it's that
Super
bad.
fucking sweaty.
It
Mhm.
is incredibly sweaty.
Because all
Have
the
you-
like regular people have moved on to Doom Eternal, so you're just left with like the hardcore like originalists.
This is why
Yeah,
I
it's like
haven't
if you
played.
go on D1 and play Crucible on D1. It's like that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is why I haven't played Crucible on Destiny 1.
D1
going back
Crucible
to it, it
right
was
now,
just
dude,
like-
be kind of
I was just
crazy.
like, you're
I
just
will
gonna
not
have
play
people.
Destiny of any kind on PC for multiplayer because it's just it it's got more
There's
cheaters than
shit you can
Magic
do.
Johnson has
Yeah, I was gonna
AIDS.
say like,
Wow.
there's thing you can do with
Dude, you're on a roll tonight. Or this morning. What the fuck?
I'm trying to get myself banned.
with a mouse and keyboard that you can't do with a controller.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of turning 1,000 voices into a trace rifle. That
So
was an
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
what about turning it into a fucking pistol? Devil's
and
Ruin.
dual wielding it with another pistol.
No, that's Halo.
Nah, Devil's Ruin. It's the fucking
It's
The
500
Yeah,
voices.
Yeah,
voice
no,
is
you're right.
pistol.
It's 100 voices.
That's
What was,
500.
I'm trying to remember.
Anyway,
which
this is an
Destiny
id
2
software
reference.
episode.
yeah.
All right, so I did want to bring up specifically. I wanted to talk about Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, and like I think the biggest thing for me as a gamer moving forward, because I remember when talking to Dad about Doom, and I bring this up more just because it's just cool to talk about the gap between the generations. So Dad played Doom back when Doom was the 1993 shareware version. He did mail order the full game just so he could experience it, because at the time it was so important to programming. You show him Doom 2016 and he's a huge fan of Doom. He's glad that it, like, the only person left, by the way, is Romero. He's the only one left from the original crew.
Isn't the guy who started
No,
it,
that's
isn't
not
his
true.
son in charge of it now, or like his nephew or something?
Cloud is still there, and
Is
the
Cloud
Team
still
Mom
there?
gal is still there.
Oh, Team Mom never went away. That doesn't surprise me at all. Yes.
sure ain't a Teen
Jason
Mom anymore.
Carmack, I want to say his name is. But Daddy Dearest is not involved anymore.
No,
Daddy Dearest
but
is like, I am old and I am tired and I am done.
I'm
And
old
I
and
don't
I'm
fucking
rich.
blame
It's
him.
time to retire.
Also, by the way, he suffers from the same Randy Felt face of, did you see the first one? Fucking nailed it situation.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Nobody
You
gets
do.
that joke. Just dead silence. All right, cool.
I do not get that joke. No.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a bit from a comedian, and they were saying that when you write a really good book that gets, like, the Pulitzer Prize and all this other BS, and you make and you're making millions off the one book, and someone's like, "You gonna write another book?" The reaction is like, "Nah, why bother? Did you see the first one? I fucking nailed it." And he's like, "There's no other industry in the world where you can do that," which isn't
Yeah.
entirely accurate, but like,
You can do that with movies. Hey,
yeah,
make a sequel.
you make
No?
enough money. Why? Did you see the first one? I nailed it.
Yeah.
That's
As
what
long as you
Matrix
don't
should
leave
have
it
done.
open for a cliffhanger, that is.
Unless that's the
That's what
intention.
Matrix should have done.
Unless you're
But
Well, that's
unless,
the thing is Matrix.
unless you're
The first
Paolini.
Matrix movie does not leave it as a cliffhanger. It's like, he's like unlocked his superpowers, or whatever. They just made more movies because they could.
yeah,
Because the Wachowski brothers were like,
it made money.
there is more to the story. Anyway, so id Software.
So what I really loved going forward, so like what I was trying to say is my dad really liked the original Doom, and then you take him and you put him in the new Doom, and first of all he hates consoles and he hates dual stick controls.
Mostly
So
he
that
just hates
really
stick controls.
that
Yeah,
really
it's
is
really just the dual
a
sticks.
thing to get him over. He needs, but he does not have a computer new enough that could run Doom, the new
Well,
Doom,
hey,
on
Beard
it.
does.
Hey, what are you talking about? Of course I do.
Yeah, you got a
Well,
Fucking
maybe
$3,000
give him the
Skynet
chance to
ass
play it
computer.
on your computer, because he might not just instantly be like, I hate this. But his opinion, see, I look at this and I'm like, I love that we have a whole story now. We have a character, Samuel Hayden, who's responsible for all this bullshit. We have
Oh,
a
we made a
character,
fuck you
Olivia
lucky.
Pierce, who's responsible for being the one who's convinced by the demons to do the bad, and the demons didn't just
Do the
randomly
bad.
show up. The demons didn't just randomly show up. The demons are a race of beings who live in one sort of like hellverse, and they go to other universes and try to make those universes one with the hellverse, and then devour whatever is in that universe to keep their own race fed and strong. And to do this, they'll create little cracks, and that's all they can do from their side into another universe, and then they have to convince someone in that universe to help them do more, to open a door.
Mhm.
I'm like, but my dad's reaction is like, I just want to shooty kill. I don't care about no fucking story.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because
that's old
the
school, bro.
original Doom, the story was there, but it wasn't like
The story was
involved in the gameplay.
the story was you pissed off the wrong person, and now you're just some dude on Mars base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the story was there, but it wasn't like involved in the gameplay. Like it was very little.
Yes.
You got the shit outposts.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Mars
so-
attacks.
But the
And
way
Doom 2
that
had a little bit more story to it.
the reason why Doom 2016 has a story to it is because
Is because
the way that
Bethesda-
gaming has developed since then is like you kind of have to have a story. You have to have some sort
Well,
of narrative, or else
you think
people aren't
about
going to be as
compare
engaged
the
in it.
original. If I can make a comparison to old Doom and new Doom, or rather I should say the old Doom new Doom dichotomy, make the comparison between the first Call of Duty game and modern Call of Duty games. In the first Call of Duty game, the story was largely just you're a soldier working for this country. You go in and you do this mission. You have to kill enemies and you have to accomplish this objective.
Which I would
And
argue
you have
was because
several
at the
missions
time,
with objectives.
Call of Duty was like, hey, here's our proof of concept game. Hope you like it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And even up to like playing in like Call of Duty 3, there was more story in Call of Duty 3, but it was largely still just like there's shit going on. Well, actually, I would say the first Call of Duty, there's not really much in the way of story.
you know, Call of
Second Call
Duty
of
was
Duty,
on the Wii.
they introduced the Russian group that became the big problem group in 3. But the only story between those two games was Makarov. And it wasn't huge compared to what we have now. Now we have
Yeah, but
stories
then you
that
have like
interchange
Black
with other
Ops.
game modes. So like Black Ops has a whole story in Black Ops that continues in 2, that continues in 3, that continues in 4, and it phases in and out of the and intersects with the zombies storyline, which the zombie storyline continues into the future beyond the events of the game's stories
The campaign,
themselves.
yeah.
So yeah, the campaign stories. So there's just like there's all of this like convoluted crisscross or whatever, which is super cool when you're in it and you're playing it. But it's it's just a product of the
Oh,
times. Like,
dude, the fucking zombie story doesn't make any sense though.
It's not supposed to.
well, first of all, starting in Cold War, they basically almost completely hard reset everything. They basically they got to a point where they're like,
but
yeah,
we can talk
nothing
about
makes sense
we can talk
anymore.
about zombies in a different episode.
I would love to
Yeah.
talk about zombies for 3 hours.
But yeah, no. But the point of that is just to help,
Well, just to say,
like,
like, similarly
make my
with
point
Doom,
clear about
yeah.
how the need for a narrative has changed. You know what I mean?
And well, you know, Dad might look at it and say, "I don't need a narrative. I just want to shoot things. I don't want to worry about magic. I don't want to worry about all these other things I can do." So, like in the new
what
Doom,
the fuck is that?
Yeah.
yeah. So, like in the new Doom, you get runes, and the runes give you abilities. Like, there's a rune that makes you run faster. There's a rune that makes you do more damage with your guns. There's runes that give your guns secondary abilities that they didn't otherwise
My
have.
You know what?
favorite
I
rune.
will
My
say
favorite
like,
rune is Vacuum 3.
I will say I'm
Vacuum
pretty
3
sure
is dope.
I'm pretty sure that Dad would love Super Turbo Turkey Puncher.
Yes.
I can't imagine anybody would
be-
not like it with a name like that.
That'd be the one rune he'd be like, "Wait, I want this one just by the name." But yeah, but normally my dad's very like, I don't want to worry about that. I just want to point my gun and shoot the bad guys, and that's it.
Mhm.
But modern gamers are like, I want to know why I'm here. Why am I shooting the bad guys? Are the bad guys
why
really
have
bad?
gun?
Am
Why
I the bad
shoot?
guy?
What is gun?
Well,
Why shoot gun?
you
Who
look
are
at like
bad guy?
what the fuck is the game I'm trying to think? Nolan North plays a character who basically orders the death of a whole bunch of innocent people, and you
Oh
play
yeah.
a character who you play that character, and that the point was to say like, you don't necessarily know what's going on, and there's evidence that Nolan North's character knew that was not a place full of terrorists and ordered the strike anyway. And like, so now it's like, oh, this whole time we thought we were playing as a hero, but we're actually playing as a psychotic bastard who traumatized his entire squad now and made them responsible for the deaths of a whole bunch of innocent people. Well, newsflash, war's fucking ugly and shit like this happens.
Mhm.
You know, like that was the point of that game. It's the same thing. People want to know the answers to these questions now because now you're like, why am I on Mars? Why is there an installation on Mars? What's Argent energy? Why does Argent energy matter? Well, you get the answer to that question. There was an energy crisis on Earth. They couldn't figure out how to solve it because they burned through all their fossil fuels like a bunch of idiots and didn't embrace solar. Uh, whatever you want to say is the reason. I'm not trying to get political with that. I'm not like on solar's side or
Don't
whatever.
worry
I'm
about
just
it.
joking. I'm just joking. But like, that's the point I'm trying to make is like, reality wise, what we do know is they burned through their fossil fuels. They didn't have an answer to their energy crisis, and this one brilliant scientist dude found an energy source on Mars and went, but it wasn't really usable normally, so he had to create a refining process for it. So he refined the energy and sent it back to Earth, and now Earth can operate fine off of the energy. But then he turned his company that made that into a monopoly that created a whole fucking. And now we know why we're on Mars. You know, like there's all this to
Argent
it.
energy.
Urgent energy. Yeah.
The
My
voice
Yeah,
of
name
which
is
is why
Optimus.
like
Dr. Samuel Hayden.
what
We
what
made
I
a
love
fucky wucky.
that
We
the
made a fucky
expansion on
wucky.
that in Doom Eternal is because, like, for example, there is a part of me that when I was playing as the Doom Marine and he destroys the entire flow of Argent energy, there was a part of me that was like, this guy told you that Earth is dependent on this energy, and while we know that he hates the demons and everything that comes from the Hell Realm, you're kind of being a dick to just eliminate this option from Earth.
Well, because he's
Yeah.
probably
But
like, you can do better.
Here's the thing, though. You
Well,
didn't have the
also
broader
because you as the
spectrum.
Doomslayer
We
know
learn,
what happens when people fuck
yeah,
around
exactly. So
and find
in
out.
Doom Eternal, right? In Doom Eternal, we find out well, spoilers incoming. If you didn't play Doom Eternal, I'm gonna spoil some shit for Doom Eternal,
Mhm.
unless the guys here tell me not to. I
Eh.
take that as a resounding go ahead. Spoil Doom Eternal. Spoilers, guys. There's spoilers for Doom Eternal in here. If you don't want to see the spoilers, move the fuck on. I've warned you. So
Oh, in case you were curious, there's spoilers ahead.
yeah. So
Hey,
in case
by
I
the
wasn't
way,
clear.
guys, I just want to throw it out there real quick. Spoilers for Doom Eternal.
bro, I just don't want somebody
You're
to
gonna
be like,
make me say it too, so that we
"What
all
is
say
this
it, aren't you?
shame?"
I'm
Like,
not gonna make
fuck
you do anything, Zeta. You do
Hey,
whatever you
hey,
want.
hey,
But,
guys!
What?
Spoilers.
Yeah. So we find out in Doom Eternal that one, Argent energy is literally the souls reaped from people.
Oh,
And
fun.
not just humans, just generally people, so like sentient beings, they pull the souls out of them and turn them into Argent energy, which is how the demons use their magic. There was a race of beings called the Khans that opposed the demons, along with a group called the Argenta, who are like very Asgardian type people.
Right.
And what happened was the Khans are ruled by someone called the Khan Maker. The Khan Maker changes hands every so often because Khans aren't immortal. And the newer Khan Maker was like, I don't want to die. Is there a way that I can live forever? And discovered that if I absorb enough of this Argent energy shit, I can just extend my life indefinitely and be completely invulnerable. So she made a deal with the demons that she would provide them with Argent energy as long as she was given a certain amount so that she could be immortal. And she completely destroyed the entire system for her entire race, which is now dying out because she was dumb about it. And the Argenta are completely wiped because the Khans betrayed them. And the Doomslayer was working with the Argenta and was, in fact, genetically enhanced by the Argenta. He was a human from a different dimension. Fun fact, the Doom Marine from the new games is the exact same Doom Marine you play in the old games. He's just had a very big extra dimensional journey through a whole bunch of hellscapes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which well, he was off doing that epic badass shit. You were stuck with Doom 3.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were stuck with the black sheep of the
so now that
family.
you play Doom Eternal, you're like, no, he's not an asshole for destroying that. He had a very fucking good reason for doing that. Like I'm just trying to make the point of
Stop
we now
reaping
ask these
people's souls,
questions.
asshole.
Yeah, we now ask these questions. So like without that context, we're like, why are you being a dick and destroying this? Or you might think that because sure, we get it's coming from the hell dimension and you don't like the beings in the hell dimension, but it
But
kind of
like,
feels nice
come on,
to like
man.
shove it up
You
their
gotta
ass.
you gotta
We get to
trust
have energy and we get to take from them.
you gotta trust the Doomslayer, man. He finds a little miniature version of himself and gives it a fist
And
bump.
fist bumps it.
Yeah, that shit is cute.
So
That
while I've
shit
been
is
quiet
cute.
here, the last couple minutes, I had a thought when we mentioned Samuel Hayden. I was like, I made a comment. I don't know if anybody else caught it. Where I was like, yeah, the voice of Optimus Prime over there, and I thought,
Mhm.
I wonder if he is, because he would make a good voice for Optimus Prime. So I went to the actor's IMDb page, and not to bring it back to Destiny again, but he's also the voice of Emperor Callus.
I
Oh,
don't
is he?
Funny.
I don't know who that
Definitely
is.
put a different filter on him. Emperor, well, here's the
Mhm.
thing. So, you
So
know
fat
how
from
Samuel
strength, that
Hayden
guy.
sounds. He's like, you can't just punch a hole into the surface of Mars.
Can't
But,
just
like,
shoot a hole into the surface of Mars. Meanwhile,
Can and
Emperor
will,
Callus
bitch.
would be like, "Fucking do it."
Well, the other thing is Emperor Callus is like, "Come, grow fat from strength." It might be the same voice actor, but it's a very different filter on that voice. Which I
Yeah.
imagine like that's mostly impressionism or doing a different voice. The actor,
Expand
you've
with
heard-
mass.
If you've heard what his actual voice
Expand
sounds
with
like,
mass.
you can
Enlarge with
understand.
Enlarge.
He
He
with
sounds
mass.
sounds
like Mickey Mouse, bro.
he sounds more like an old like 40-year-old, just like, "That's right, come here, fight me, bitch. I'ma bury your ass so deep." That's how Callus sounds.
Callus
Very
does
like,
not sound like that.
What
Callus
was
sounds
that?
like he's so
Did you
fucking fat.
say you
He's
wanted to
constantly
date my
swallowing
daughter?
his tongue.
no, listen to me. But his voice is very, very deep.
Did you
which
say
I
you
can't
wanted to date
do
my daughter?
because this is about as deep as I can go.
I got two
so-
barrels on this motherfucker.
Oh man, you're just making me think of Alex Jones saying, "I'm here to date your 6-year-old."
I don't want to talk about
Frogs!
that.
That is
Darren
a box of
DePaul.
worms I didn't know existed. I didn't want opened. I didn't
Yeah,
need in my
let's
life.
move on.
I'm here to date your
Everything hurts
6-year-old.
now.
But the other thing is, of course, the new Doom brought a lot of new gameplay mechanics and
Such as snap maps.
ideas in there. Yeah, snap naps, and you had the Praetor suit system, the Praetor token system. You can upgrade your equipment now. You can
All those
upgrade your
that's not
dead
really
gun.
people in
new.
Praetor suits.
Yeah.
Well, no, that system isn't new, but it didn't exist in the old.
No,
Doom
yeah, but
games.
it's just them slapping RPG elements into Doom, but it worked for
Yeah.
it though.
But it works really well. They did a very
Because
Well,
good
they
it
didn't
makes
job.
take it
sense.
all over the
And
top.
I think that's something that Dad would probably give more of a chance, like finding little secrets. So here's the thing, because when I explained that to Dad,
he
was
would
like,
love the
was gonna say,
Easter
actually,
eggs
I
with the
like that.
original Doom maps in them.
Yeah,
he would
the
love
little,
that.
Because I remember telling my dad, so they have secret zones in this game like they did in the old games, but they give you an incentive for the secret zones. And he asked me what I meant, and I said, a lot of these secret zones have these things called Praetor tokens, which allows you to upgrade your armor, to have better defense, or
Upgrade your
to
weapon to
take
shoot
less
more
damage from
missiles.
explosions
Yeah.
or something. And I remember Dad going, that actually sounds like a good addition to the game. That he thought putting something in a secret area that helped you become a better killer was actually a cool addition. He wasn't so big on the storyline stuff, but he liked that concept.
Look, he's a simple man, all right? If you tell him, hey, here's a thing that lets you kill better, he's like, hell yeah.
He also loved how you'd come up on the upgrade bot and just punch the ever loving shit out of it.
Oh
But
yeah, bubble
people
butt.
didn't. People were like, no. And I think it's because Markiplier did a playthrough and he called it bubble butt.
You
like,
punch
no,
bubble butt.
Bubble butt.
Yeah.
Well, bubble butt comes from another playthrough of a game he did, Soma, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny
But
box
I
Tim,
mean,
we get
like,
it.
yeah, is a very that sort of setup. So he saw it and he was like, oh, look, he's like Bubble Butt. And then the Doomslayer just like fucking, fuck you, and just punches it. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And I think that might have been like one of the big things that contributed to people just being like, it's a cute little robot, I don't want to hurt it. So in the second game, he just like grabs it and takes his thing and leaves it alone. And I'm like, lame. Stick to your guns.
Lame.
Double down, bitch. Blood, death.
Robots don't
What's that?
bleed.
That's my
Blood
big
for the
bits
blood
alarm.
Blood for the blood god.
My big bits alarm. It goes off when there's a big
Yeah,
bitch in the
yep.
proximity.
Exactly. That was like my first thing. Like when I ran up and got the first upgrade bot, I was like, oh, dope. And I grabbed the upgrade bot and I'm like, bitch. Like, yes, just
Terribly
double
less.
down on that shit.
Well,
Like for real.
that's
The
what you
reaction should
get.
have been like, what
that's
did
what
you
you-
expect? This is fucking Doom.
That's what you get when you work with Todd Howard. Anyway,
Lame. Is Todd
It just
Howard really
worked.
the reason I can't have my robot smashing?
I doubt it. I just like to
I
make
don't
fun
I'm
of.
like,
doubt it.
bro,
I just like to make fun of
another
Todd
reason
Howard.
to punch this man in the face. I'm not a fan of Todd Howard.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
can be a
looking for a
whole.
lawsuit.
We can talk about that if we ever do a Bethesda episode.
Oh man,
An episode
so many
specifically
things
about
to talk
Bethesda
about.
software.
Oh man, if we do an episode about Bethesda, we get to talk about how much of a fucking acid trip the first Fallout game was.
Yeah, but we'll save that for
Oh
that
my
episode.
God. Yeah.
That
Does anyone
wasn't
else
made
have
by
anything to
Bethesda, though.
say about? Because I think.
No, but they did pick up the Fallout
Oh,
series.
oh, oh! We didn't talk about this, so I wanted to talk about the Wolfenstein series. That's its
Hmm.
other big selling
Yeah,
series.
man,
started
they've
with
been doing
Wolfenstein
cool
3D.
shit with that.
And
Yeah,
I don't
apparently
know
they're
if there was a
teasing some
3D
sort of like
2.
multiverse that encompasses Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein.
Bro, I kind of
No,
not gonna lie, I kind of would love
there's
that.
a timeline. So here's the timeline exists. So BJ Blazkowicz is the grandfather of Commander Keen, who is the grandfather of Doom Guy. That is official canon.
Wow.
Fuck.
Wait, but where does
Yup.
Quake fit in?
Yeah.
Quake exists in its own little ethereal realm of fuck you, and I don't like it.
Quake, it's all right. Quake, it's okay.
No, I just don't like that they didn't find a way to make that fit into. But it makes sense because in Doom the major threat is
Yeah, I
the
will say,
demons,
it
and in Quake,
actually
the major threat is the straw.
yeah, it makes sense more because when you play Wolfenstein, you're playing BJ Blazkowicz or someone related to BJ Blazkowicz, and when you're playing Doom, you're playing Doom Guy. When you're playing Commander Keen, you're playing Commander Keen. Quake, you're just a dude with a gun. You don't have a name. You don't have a personality. Yeah, you're just a dude. You're man with gun.
You have a little bit of personality in Quake 4, but not much. You're like
you have a
something.
name, but you don't ever fucking speak, and then you get turned into a half.
Yeah,
rogue.
fucking Quake 4. Well, I guess the Quake series, your character is just like ambiguous and voiceless.
Yeah, your character is very much just that guy.
Sergeant something Kane. It's not
Although
Michael
to be
Caine.
clear, just so we're clear about
Michael
something,
Caine.
the
Michael
new
Caine.
Wolfenstein games take place in a different timeline
I'm aware.
from
yeah.
the new Doom games.
Yeah,
they're weird.
They have
They're
to,
weird time travel bullshit.
Because you gotta understand. So like you have Wolfenstein 3D, you have Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Now Return to Castle Wolfenstein 3D takes place during World War II, but let's be honest, it didn't happen. It's a fever dream. And the reason I say that is because you kill Mecha Hitler.
I was gonna say Mecha Hitler. Come on.
Nah, dude, that's real life shit, bro. What are you talking
obviously
about?
Hitler got a mecha suit with rocket launchers and shit.
Mecha Hitler might be one of my favorite final bosses of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, the pure audacity of it was just like, yeah.
It's like, hey man, you what do you expect who do you expect you're gonna fight? Hitler? Guess what? Joke's on you. It's fucking Mecha Hitler now.
Mecha Hitler.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well,
no,
the
that's...
thing with that too is like
man.
you get every 90s 12-year-old dream of like punching Hitler's face in because he's the ultimate bad guy.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking Wolfenstein 3D have a Pac-Man Easter egg in it?
Yeah, it did.
Yep, it sure did. And
oh
the
my
new
god.
Wolfenstein, in case we haven't driven it home, Wolfenstein 3D. Wolfenstein 3D for what it was fucking phenomenal. It was great.
That game is absolutely a fucking fever dream, though.
It's so good.
It's
that game
so
is absolutely
trippy, but it's amazing.
A trip and a half.
Wasn't there like a mission in Wolfenstein, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, where you went back to Wolfenstein 3D for a minute?
No,
but there is in Doom 2.
um,
There's a secret level where you are playing Wolfenstein 3D.
Yes, and then also in Wolfenstein, in the one that came after Return to Castle Wolfenstein, the first one that was on Xbox. That one.
One that's just called Wolfenstein and is sitting on a shelf 4 feet from me.
Yes, one had an Easter egg where you go back to Wolfenstein 3D.
So the games were Wolfenstein 3D, Return to Castle Wolfenstein. There was another version of Return to Castle Wolfenstein with a different name on it that was on the Xbox, but I don't remember what it was called.
It was called Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and there's several levels.
It had a subtitle to it that I don't remember. but it's like,
There's several levels that are not in the PC version and a shotgun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
do
played
There's a
because one of
do
my
love a
there's some
shotgun.
ex-girlfriends had
differences.
it.
I do remember that. And then you had Wolfenstein, and then you had Wolfenstein: The New Order and Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
Right.
Yeah,
I
and then
remember playing the
Wolfenstein
New
Young Blood.
Order, but
Don't
I
forget
don't
about
remember playing
Young
New
Blood,
Colossus.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Youngblood. Oh yeah, isn't that like the time travel shit?
That's the one
That's
that's
the
like
newest one,
that's
isn't it?
that one. I think that one's like German exclusive. Wolfenstein Young Blood.
Is it? I'm
But
pretty sure
it's
Young Blood
very
is the one where you play as daughters.
yeah yeah Wolfenstein Young Blood. That's very cyberpunky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay.
Interesting.
The reason I'm no longer like interested in Wolfenstein is because he has a fucking zipper around his neck. Like,
Well, because
and
he
the
got
whole
beheaded and they just attached his head to somebody
yeah,
else's body.
the whole thing with that is just like completely not feasible in at all.
Well,
It makes
that's what
no
all the
fucking
fucking
sense.
veil magic science is about.
It doesn't
They
make
essentially
any
they
fucking
gave
sense.
Doom Guy too much power, so they're like, well, now we gotta turn Blazkowicz into an immortal super soldier too.
Yeah, I think they're ultimately
much,
leading
yeah.
up to Doom Guy versus Blazkowicz. They're gonna. I'm calling it right now. They're gonna create a game where those two fight each other, and then at the end of the day, they become like buddy cops. Like by the end of the
Yeah.
game, they're gonna be fighting
Bro,
together.
I would love
It's
to
gonna be
see like
ridiculous.
Blazkowicz, Spartan 117,
Bro,
Doom
what if
Guy.
What's another
Starfield? Good one?
What if Bethesda's new game Starfield? What if that's just a reboot
Starfield
of
is just
Commander
that?
Keen? What if it's just a reboot of Commander Keen, bro?
Whoa,
I will be
there's
so
a fucking
mad.
Dude.
there's a fucking mind blower. I didn't see that idea coming.
That'd be epic.
It would not be epic. I would be very upset with that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would put Commander Keen in the epic category.
They'd have to do
They'd have
the
to do a
idea
damn
of
good
Commander
job.
Keen justice. Yeah. Like there is some Commander Keen was very its own thing.
But also,
uh,
their only other like spacey thing it really is Prey. So
Oh yeah, that is
Prey
it.
and
Yeah.
Outer Worlds. No way,
Outer Worlds has
Obsidian.
nothing to do with it.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about?
No, that's Obsidian.
Obsidian
It's
is
not
a good
owned by
fucking one,
Bethesda.
dude.
Although it's funny because they were hired to do a Fallout game and made a better Fallout game.
Than Bethesda
Yeah.
ever did. Yeah,
They made a
Mhm.
way better Fallout game than Bethesda ever did.
And now
'Cause,
they're
like-
making. Now I'm sad because, and I could talk about this in its own episode, really, but just as a quick thing, I'm
we say
sad.
that too much.
We do. I'm gonna start making a list at some point. I was sad because Outer Worlds looked so good. It was like, oh, this is gonna be the space RPG that it's gonna be better than what Bethesda makes. And here's the thing.
It was such a
Here's
letdown.
the thing. Outer Worlds is a good game, and that's it.
It is. Yep.
It's
I mean, it wasn't bad.
it's not
there's some
phenomenal.
shit-
It's not fantastic. It's a good game.
It's a game that you'll play.
Yeah,
and be
like
that was cool.
Yeah.
it's not bad, and that's the best thing you can say about it.
hmm
Yeah.
There's
The
a ton of videos
mad
about
scientist dude is the best character though.
Phineas?
Guy who thaws you.
I don't know about that, but
Phineas's ugly ass, no.
I don't know about that because you're
Moon
you're
guy, the Moon Man.
you're
guy.
on
I'm
board.
gonna have to hit you with one
Oh,
of those.
okay.
I don't
yeah,
know
the
about
Moon
that.
Man.
Steve.
The also your ship's computer is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
she
fair.
is sassy as fuck.
We all know Beard's got a thing for sassy women.
I have a thing for sassy
He
people
sure
in general.
does.
But
Did
yeah,
never mind. I'm not gonna do that.
yeah. So it's cool. They make good games.
So Doom Eternal added a new multiplayer mode that lets you play. So you have I think it's 2 or 3 people play as Doom Marines, and one person plays as a demon. Which, in fairness, they play as a demon with a lot of upgrades to make it fair to fight a fucking Doom Marine.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna
Cyber
say,
demon shit.
it's the only thing that could be even remotely fair would be like a Revenant or a Baron of Hell.
Bro, you
There's
gotta
no way
bring
they
me
gave
your
you a
fucking
Baron of Hell.
PlayStation so I can play Doom Eternal.
Uh, maybe. What's the word I'm looking for? I can say you start out the basic one that you can play to start out with is a Mancubus.
Mancubus!
So
Is
so
it
here's the
at
thing:
least is
if
it
you
at
played
least
a
the Cyber
Mancubus,
Mancubus, or is it just a regular one?
yes, you're a Cyber
Okay.
Mancubus, and
Cyber.
you're the thing is, first of all, you know how the Mancubus has that puke attack? Well, that thing goes way farther now, and also instead of having like your regular the cannon things, you have like a thing that flowers out and fires like 30 rockets. So yes, it's a little bit more balanced because fucking
I gotta
the Doom
say,
Marines can
though,
just zip around on their zip lines and their I'm trying to remember like their fucking meat hook that they have on their shotguns, and they can just like Tarzan around
me
the
hook
fucking
on the
stage.
shotguns.
Oh
shit!
no, there's a grappling hook thing on the fucking super
Yeah,
shotgun.
on the super shotty.
I like it being called the meat hook better.
Yes,
It's the meat hook.
It's called the meat hook, dude. It's called the meat hook because that is your glory kill.
Because
weapon.
it's fucking Doom. It's called the meat hook.
Yeah. Also, once you get the meat hook, you don't glory kill with practically anything else because now you can glory kill from halfway across the room. So why would you ever like? You just shoot something to the point that it staggers, and then just be like, "Come here," like Scorpion.
You gave him
Get
range.
over here.
You
Yeah.
gave him glory
Yeah.
range, and now it's the end, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He literally pulls a Scorpion "get over here" situation for half the enemies, and the other one is like, if they're big enough, he pulls himself to them. It's like on a Mancubus, you would pull yourself to a Mancubus, but if it's like a Revenant, he like hooks the Revenant and then just goes "get over here" and yanks him.
Yeah.
And I think
Which,
for
by
the
the
Revenant,
way,
he actually just pulls his fucking
Revenant-
skull out of his body.
Revenant.
I
Revenant.
have a bone to pick with you.
Yes, Revenant is my favorite. Revenant has always been my favorite Doom enemy because as soon as the Revenant shows up, it's just like,
Necromancy.
I like the
I like the storyline
if
behind
you
Revenants
boot up
in the
Doom
new
2016, it still shows on the menu the fucking picture of the Revenant, like the store menu, the picture of the Revenant where his things are just trumpets.
Dude. Yes.
Yeah. The fucking doot Revenant.
The
Look,
Duke
let me see if I can
Revenant,
find
yeah.
a picture of it.
Oh, my phone is bugging. My phone might drop the call, guys. It's like the
bugging.
phone is taking forever to
Five.
load anything.
Wow, you just put that word in a
Are
sentence.
you talking
like
about the
that?
PlayStation Store, or are you talking about the Steam Store? Because the Steam Store, it's just the Doom guy with the super shotgun.
No, I mean if you boot up the game and go to the store page.
Oh yeah, of course, because that's like the leading mod. Is the Doot mod, which is
Doot.
what is it called? But it's like the creative works or whatever that's in every Bethesda game now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're losing a lawsuit over because it's like, oh, you bought the season pass, but not that, even though we said you'd have it. Yeah, that.
Yeah, look at this.
Doot.
Doot.
Doot Eternal.
Doot Eternal, yeah.
The Rip and Tear Pack. Doot. Bonus campaign
good?
master
Good?
level. Doot.
Doot.
Did I? Am I back? Am I back? Am
Yes,
I
I
call
can
again?
hear you.
Yeah.
And your
okay.
front, and your front. After 27
It's
years, Doom
way
receives
too
official
good.
widescreen update. Doot.
What the fuck?
Look in the chat, man. Look at the chat.
Doot.
Oh man.
That's what we're talking about. Pre-order now.
We're talking about
Oh.
Doot Eternal.
Doot
Nice.
Revenant skin. It's
Nice.
so great.
It looks pretty great.
Oh man. Anyway, I believe we were talking about Doom.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
be honest. I've said everything I want
Yeah,
to say at
yeah.
this
I've
point.
gone
So
through
like,
my entire script.
I've gone through my entire script. I'm good. I'm solid. Like, do you guys have anything? Because I've dominated this. Like, what all do
I
y'all
mean,
have to say
I
about
mean, if
shit?
we want to talk about like just anything, I fucking broke my tooth the other day.
okay. Well, I was gonna
No,
say.
I meant about
I was
the
gonna
the
say
fuck did you do
subject at
that?
in
hand.
relative terms. Critical Role did a Doom one shot that was fucking fantastic.
I keep
Oh,
needing to
did they?
watch that,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Which, by the
I have
way,
yet to do so.
had the man himself, the voice of Samuel Hayden.
Oh yeah,
dope.
he did. He did. I saw that on his IMDb page. It said Critical Role, and I was like, he plays a character named Sprig, and I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But
Yeah, no, he in that particular case, he was Samuel Hayden. Go figure.
Doctor Samuel Hayden.
Samuel Hayden.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I highly recommend if you like Doom, go watch that one because oh my god, it's so good.
Dude Slayer.
Is it a team of Doomslayers or a team of just
No,
No,
random
it's
no,
UAC personnel
it's
trying so hard to survive?
it's
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 just
a
Tuba
team of
Warrior.
it's a team of demons trying to survive the Doomslayer.
Let me guess,
Nice.
they fail.
Well, I mean, so they're not. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but like, he's not their first. They're set to go do a thing, and he shows up, and then like,
Yeah. And then all of a
it,
sudden,
it goes how it goes. I'm
surprise
not
Samuel
gonna.
Hayden.
I'm not. No, Samuel Hayden was not a surprise. He was there the whole time. Uh, I'm not gonna spoil how it goes. You should go watch it. It's really good.
What does he say? He's like, I solved an energy crisis the world had no answer for, or some shit like that. And then, like, in the next game, he's like, yeah, okay, this was a bad decision
Yeah.
in every sense of the word. The
You
Earth
can't
is
just
fucked.
shoot a hole in the surface of Mars.
You watch me.
That's true, though. It's like, Doomslayer's like, I do what I want, bitch.
Yeah, he's Samuel Hayden from game
Oh,
one
you
to game
couldn't
two. It's
until
like
Vega was like,
it's
would you like me to allow you access to shoot whatever the fuck you want?
it's like in the first
Yeah,
game.
he's much,
Dude,
much,
can we
much more
talk about Vega
sinister
for a
in
second?
Doom
Okay,
2016.
sure.
Vega's so good. Vega's amazing, and I recall a mission where you have to kill Vega in 2016's Doom, and I thought we actually killed Vega. I didn't remember that you actually pull the core
No,
out,
you have a
so he's
choice.
not dead.
You have a choice. You actually have a choice.
It
whether
didn't give
you,
me a choice. It was
Really?
just
Yeah, really?
he was like, you have to go here and disable Vega before they get their hands on it. And so you get there and you press all the buttons, and right before you hit the big red button that's like, Alt F4 Vega, you pull the Cortana chip out and put it in your helmet, and then you hit the button and it blows up the computer. And then
Hayden
it's
gets
like,
fucking pissed
aha,
at you
Vega
for
is
your
gone,
audacity
except that
to.
he's totally not.
Well, that's the other thing too, is
Huh.
Vega was actually messing with Hayden's ability to do the thing he wanted to do. So like he didn't want. I just remember Vega showing up because my introduction to Doom Eternal was the id guys showed up with Markiplier and had him play through a bit, and I love their reaction. They're like, "Here, start at the beginning of the game," and he picks. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's not Ultra Nightmare. It's Ultra Violence, which is hard mode.
Mhm.
He picks
Yeah.
hard mode and then just slaughters, and they're like, maybe we need to move you later into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
exactly.
because he's like, yeah, as it turns out, Mark is in fact actually a gamer.
Yeah, there's like a cut, and then he goes back and goes, so they had to move me to another point in the game because I was burning through everything they put me in front of so fast that they're like, there won't be room for you to make a play, like a let's play of this later. You're just gonna burn through the game. So they put me like 8 levels ahead of where I was, and the dude in the background was like, yeah, as it turns out, Markiplier actually is a gamer.
Yep.
We didn't actually expect him, and it's funny too because the dude next to Mark said that, and the dude in the background's like, I worked so hard to make it difficult, and it's not. And Mark's
Uh,
like, I'm sorry.
poor developers.
It's so great though. It's
The
like
only
great
thing
to
that
watch
makes
it
me
happen.
If that isn't the truth of fucking development studios, though.
Yeah,
It
I work
really
so
is.
hard to make this difficult.
I work so hard on this and it's not what it's supposed to be. I bring it out to this Let's Player who's supposed to be like, oh, this game's pretty challenging, and he just rips through it like it's nothing. So they take him from that to like level 9, where you're on like another planet and you're fighting marauders and shit. And it's funny because yeah, the marauder comes out and he's supposed to be like a challenge. And they've skipped Mark past the part in the game where you actually get introduced to the marauder and how he works. Mark figures it out in about 2 seconds and slaughters him.
No, one of the guys in the background says you have to stun him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gets the hang of
Done.
it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and then the battle that gave him trouble was the Marauder comes out alongside an army of enemies, and I just remember looking at that going, I'm gonna have a problem when I get there.
And I
I'm
remember
already having
watching
a
you have
problem.
trouble with the fucking like time trial things.
Oh my god, I hate
I
those
hate
time trial
the
things.
rune trials that are
Yeah.
Because if you want to get all the things, you have to finish them. And it's so like I'm on one right now in Doom Eternal that's super annoying
All I'll
because
say
it's
about that is when you have a first person shooter like that, where it's like you have a gun, you're gonna go kill enemies. Fuck you for even thinking about putting platforming in there.
Yeah.
Nah, I disagree.
Well,
platforming's okay, but
you're a
Well,
zoomer, so
when
your
you have
opinion doesn't
crazy
count.
double jumping, sideways jumping capabilities and like midair dashes, that alleviates it to a bit because it sort of equalizes you in 3 dimensions.
can we also
But for
briefly
the
talk
most
about
part,
the
like you
meme
shouldn't have to do all
that
kinds
was
of
Doom
convoluted
Crossing?
platforming.
Oh yeah, Doom and Animal Crossing released
Can-
on the same
can-
day.
There's
they
a
released on the
mod for
same
Doom
game,
Eternal that
and it
turns.
turned
There's a
out there
mod
was
for
a
Doom Eternal that
large
turns the
overlap
little.
in the fandoms of those two
There's
games.
a whole ass subreddit for it. It's fantastic.
There's a mod for
Oh
Doom
my
Eternal
god.
that turns the little secret Doom guys that you can pick up into Isabel.
Into Isabel. Oh, that's dope.
She
That's
like
dope.
waves
I
at you
love
and then fist bumps.
it. Yo. Dope.
The image
Man,
of
I just like
the image of like Isabel and Doom guy on a beach fishing, and then like 5 minutes later, Isabel has a fucking chainsaw and is just ripping up demons.
I was
It's
gonna say
fantastic.
so my introduction to Isabel was an image on the internet of Doom Guy with Isabel sitting on his shoulder going, rip
Mhm.
and tear with the most psychotic look on her face. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is an Animal Crossing character?
Yep.
Because I haven't seen like the little frog dude and the villager guy and like, hi there, blah, 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 like stuff. And Tom Nook. I've never
That
seen
is
Isabel before.
shockingly accurate.
Yeah.
No, I played a little bit. I played a little bit of Animal Crossing. Also, I wanted
Linda
to talk about
plays.
Slimecicle's playthrough of Animal Crossing and Doom at the same time.
Mm.
You do
There's
not fool me, demon.
You do
Oh,
not.
I've
no,
never
I-
seen a
Yeah.
butterfly like this before.
Fishing just got 10 times
Yeah,
more
I was gonna say, I just
easily.
wanted an excuse to say fishing just got 5 times more easily.
That's when he picks up the
He picks
fucking
up the
rocket
rocket
launcher.
launcher, and you just see like the inner
Just
mechanism be
got
like
5 times more
and
easily.
he's like, fishing just got 5 times more easily. All right, I'm gonna catch this butterfly and also make this jump in the same game. All right, let's go, do it. Why succeed at one when can fail both at once?
We
Can
can
fail
fail
both
both
at
at the
really-
same time.
It's just really, really great. Like I just
Yeah, it's
love,
a fucking wonderful video. It is a
Mhm.
beautiful video.
Yeah.
I love the community that came out of like Doom Crossing as well,
Mhm.
and just like the fact that that's still
Doom
a
Crossing
thing.
Eternal Horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I've seen people make full-fledged like comics about it and shit. It's something.
It's
for
a
sure.
thing, yep.
It's
Well,
definitely
the reason
interesting.
it works is because of Doom Guy's whole thing about they fucking killed Daisy. So it actually fits with his character that he
Yes,
would
it
be
works
okay
that
with Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
So like it's like another cute character that could. There's a sense of like the King Kong syndrome. The 'twas not the plains, but the beauty that slayed the beast. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's very much in that vein. And Doom Guy has that pre-installed weakness for cute things already in him. Because
Yeah.
his whole rampage was, "You killed my fucking rabbit." Like, I
2,000
love how
years
they
later,
paid.
he's still mad about
Oh
his
my
rabbit.
god.
He's still mad about it. Well,
Dude,
because
can
it's
we
still
talk
people
about his
responsible
bedroom?
alive.
Can we still can we talk about his bedroom and all the cool shit in his bedroom in
Oh
Doom
my
Eternal?
god, the fucking guitars, dude.
He's a
Oh
gamer,
man,
as it turns out.
Guitars.
Yeah,
he is
Doom
a
Guy
gamer.
is in fact a gamer. He plays Overwatch. I hope not.
Does he really? I hope
Solos
not.
Reinhardt.
He's a fucking. If he does, I hope he's
I
a
saw
Roadhog
an
man.
image. I saw an image a while back that was like it showed a picture of Doom Guy like teaching Isabel how to shoot, and then it says like 2 years later, and it's like a fan drawing of Isabel in the Praetor suit, like
Yep.
just like tall like a person, just like fucking come at me, bitches. And I was just like, yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
it.
spend 2 years with a Doomslayer, no matter who you are. That's what you will turn into.
So
Unless, of
my
course, you're
personal
Master Chief,
headcanon,
then you'll just hand him like a plasma rifle or a fuel
I
rod
found the
cannon.
psychotic Isabel picture. I introduced me to Isabel.
Yeah, put it in the thing.
Then I had to search it on my phone. I was
Translation,
looking at it on my
Terror,
computer.
motherfuckers.
But like, yeah, they do talk like that in Animal Crossing. But I was gonna say my personal headcanon is that the demons pull Isabel from her nice little world and then put her in the Hellverse where she's found by Doom Guy and runs around with him in his adventures. And then when she finally comes back, she's like traumatized as fuck. So Villager takes her to Smash to work out her problems. That's my personal headcanon.
That's a beautiful story.
That makes sense, though.
It do.
does.
It do. That's the sad part.
It makes way too much sense. Like it really does. Oh man, let me see if I can. See if I can find the Rip and Tear picture. Now that I'm on my phone, there is way too much Rule 34 adjacent shit with this fandom.
Ugh,
That's
man, why'd you have to bring it
That's
up?
every fandom.
Rule 34 is the rule is if it exists.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's fair. That's fair. That is in fact the rule. The
Mhm.
exact rule.
Yep.
Worded as such.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Where's Discord? There you go.
It's over there.
It doesn't have the rip and tear word bubble, but the psychotic face is there. That's enough, in my opinion.
So that's the first time you ever saw Isabel.
That is the first picture of Isabel I ever saw.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, exactly.
So then you saw her in Smash, and
so
you're like, yeah,
I
that
did
makes
not.
sense.
Yeah. So someone was like, "No, this is like the receptionist from Animal
Yeah,
Crossing."
yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah. She's like the
I
mayor's
thought this
assistant.
was like.
How do you,
I didn't
bro?
know what,
How do you think she keeps the mayor in power, bro?
Apparently, she rips and tears.
Yeah, she keeps the mayor in power by eliminating the competition.
Somebody put Isabel in the original Doom as an NPC.
As like a companion mod, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, you could do whatever you want with that game now.
Yeah, apparently you could plan on a
Inflation, really
fucking
good.
pregnancy test, so whatever.
Apparently.
Allegedly. Yeah, but no, Doom Crossing was brilliant. I love that. The Doom Eternal and Animal Cry. I just love that the internet went, these two are now best friends.
Yeah.
And everyone agreed. And
Canonically makes
I love that
perfect sense.
the official teams that made them were like, we like
No.
this. We
Well, that
no.
depends. Yeah, it was like, haha, that's funny, and then Nintendo was like, this is not family friendly.
Yeah, they
No,
were like, this is very
Nintendo
off-brand.
Yeah,
was.
no, Nintendo is
Nintendo
very like
was.
known for
But Nintendo
not liking
corporate
people
is
messing with their stuff.
very, yeah, and it even had like that sort of like, we really like this, but we also really don't want to piss off Nintendo
Mhm.
Nintendo.
attitude. But the that went out the window when the lead developer on New Horizons was like, this is the dopest shit to ever dope.
Mm.
And Nintendo was like, no.
No, stop it.
As soon as he did that, Doom Eternal was like, fuck it, we love it too. So
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
boom,
Nintendo is fiercely protective of their
pretty
IPs.
notorious.
Yeah.
The thing is like, it's not. I think Nintendo figured out eventually. It's like nobody wants this to be a game. We just like the joke. It's a fun joke. Let us
Mhm.
have fun. And
Because they
Nintendo's
came
like,
out at the
okay,
same time.
if you're not dicking with our IP, we're fine. You know.
And then mods
But
happened.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, that's
modding
true.
Nintendo games is a lot harder than modding other types of games because
Nintendo has a very like. Nintendo is very much like, this is my thing. It stays in my house on my thing alone, and that's it. If it's here, it's here. It's not allowed to be anywhere else.
Mhm.
They're very very very
Well,
big on
except
that.
that they have ports for, like, for instance, Dark Souls on the Switch. And I think Doom
Well,
Eternal.
yeah, and
Bro, did you know that
they
fucking
don't
Call of
care.
Duty was on the Nintendo Wii?
Do you
Yeah.
know the only reason that Nintendo Switch got a Doom Eternal port was because of Doom Crossing?
I'm
That's
gonna
it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably not actually true, but okay.
I'm willing
Yeah, it
to
probably
bet.
had something to do with this little thing called money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but what was the proof that the money would work?
Because
Fair.
they've done stuff like
Most
this
people don't
before.
play.
They put Witcher
Most people
3
don't play
on the
first-person
Nintendo Switch.
shooters.
They did. They
Yeah,
did
but that's
put
an
Witcher 3 on there.
RPG. Nintendo is big into RPGs and things like that. They don't really do first-person shooters very much on their console. There's very few exceptions to that rule. I do think Doom 2016 ended up on that console, but I don't remember
On
for
what?
sure.
The Switch?
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I mean, I could
Maybe
literally
it
look.
did, maybe
I
it
could literally look right now.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, look.
Let's see. Go to
But
the shop. Nope, that's no.
yeah, that
that's
was my
not.
introduction. Like I knew what I kind of knew what Animal Crossing was. It's one of those games that I made fun of a lot because I'm like, why do the real life in the video game? The point of video game is to not be in real life. You know.
Well, that's not exactly how it is, but it's okay. Your brain small don't have to understand.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, that is completely true.
Which part?
This is I could tell
The
you
brain
right
small
now.
part.
I could tell you right now why Dave doesn't like Animal Crossing. It really doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you do chores. It's the fact that it's like, well, there's not like 50,000 books worth of lore, so I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. No, that's not. I'll tell you why I
Look,
don't like
in
Animal
place
Crossing.
of lore,
Because
bro, you have
you start the game and
archaeology
you're like, hey,
and zoology.
hey, you owe money to this thing. You have to take out loans to get a house.
Yeah,
and
he's
and
gonna say
what?
he plays
And I'm
the
like,
fucking video games to escape his debt. Okay.
I mean, but I do though. Really, like, I want to be the Doomslayer. I want to be the fucking powerful. Like, just everything fears me the second I step on
All
the
right, do you want
battlefield
to
because
know?
fuck you.
Do you
Like,
want to know
but
what?
I'm not that in real life.
Do you want to know
And
what?
I don't get to be
Let me tell you what Doom is on
with the
the
verdict.
Nintendo Switch. So you have Wolfenstein Youngblood, you have Doom Eternal, you have Doom 1993, you have Doom 64, you have Doom 3, you have Doom 2 Classic, you have Pinball FX3 Bethesda Pinball, you have Doom 2016, yeah, and then you have Wolfenstein
is on the
Youngblood Deluxe
So it
Edition.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is on there.
What the
we
fuck
didn't
is
need all the
Bethesda
Wolfenstein
Pinball?
games.
Bethesda Pinball. Also Doom Eternal, of course.
Well, that was the first one you listed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I said
it's like
Wolfenstein
the
Youngblood.
second one.
Oh, well,
Oh,
it's the
by
first
the way,
Doom one that
you
you
would
listed.
if I brought my PlayStation over, Steve would absolutely enjoy it because I went ahead and went in for the Twitch Prime loot, which was the
unicorn!
pink and purple
fucking unicorn!
suit.
Excuse
Which
you.
you can't get anymore, by the way. Oh, I found the picture I was looking for before. Hold on. Let me put that in the chat too. Was the picture I was talking about that was like the 2 years later, here's Isabel
Mm.
now like
Mhm.
as a fucking Doomslayer. As a proper Doomslayer. Not like Rule 34 adjacent bullshit that I
Isabella
don't.
fucking
There's
She
so
traitor
much
she
of that.
she
There's so much, like,
multi-classed in
humanized
administration and
Isabel.
in Doomslayer.
There's so much that's like a humanized Isabel that's just sexualized as fuck, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and there was no
Um,
reason for you to bring it up.
Yeah, there really wasn't. What the fuck?
But like there's one picture where she just straight up looks like a badass chick, and I was just like, no, but that one's good though. It doesn't look.
Why is
gross
that one
and
good?
30-40.
Why is that one good, Dave? You
Dude,
like
dude,
you like
dude,
the
we have to-
muscles?
we have
Is
to
that
be-
it?
Look, we have to understand. He goes on DeviantArt.
He goes up. You're right.
I don't, but okay. I mean, if that's your explanation, fuck it. I don't care.
He has
Whatever
a, he,
makes
you-
your
you're,
small,
you're,
tiny
you're, you're right.
smooth
He
brains
has a
understand.
he has a muscle
He has the
fetish. You're
DeviantArt
right.
account.
You're right. He's got the muscle fetish.
I do have a DVD
Bored
card that
now.
I haven't touched in
Bored.
like eons.
Bored, Zeta says. Well, yeah, we have
We are
hit
coming
the,
up on 2
Why
hours.
don't you
actually,
talk
I
about
think.
something?
Here, let me talk about this. We're 2
Well,
hours in.
coming up on 2.5
so
hours right now.
When we're 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Why can't I find it on mobile?
Cause
found
a
you're,
picture
you're
on-
trash. You're dog shit, bro. Just get good.
I found
Ah,
it
Oh,
on.
the dog
Back in
speaks.
Fortnite where you belong.
Wow, you
I
guys
fucking
are
hate that game.
savage! Holy shit!
I hate that game. As Swagger Souls said, once said, it is a gay baby game for gay babies.
Okay, but babies can't be gay because they don't have any concept of sexuality.
It's a fucking joke. Are you taking that away from me too?
Yes. You live in a post-joke society.
Oh yeah.
My
Well, I'm tired
do
of them
kind
putting
of-
chemicals in the water.
disappointment is
Let's turn the
immeasurable, and
frickin'
my
frogs
day has
gay.
been ruined.
Yeah. For real.
Anyway,
Here we go.
yeah.
That's the best
Oh,
image I could get. My files are too powerful to
Yep.
upload images
Yep.
larger than 8
Yep.
megabytes.
Too big.
Why?
Because of Discord. They want your money.
I don't see this thing.
Yeah,
that
I
you
don't see it
posted.
either.
He can't because it's too big.
It's too
Oh.
big.
Well, that's too sad, too big.
But you know, if you
You're not
bought
enough.
Discord Extra Turbo or whatever the fuck.
I sent it compressed, so hopefully that works.
Hopefully, it doesn't look completely like shit.
What am I looking at?
Discord Nitrox or whatever the fuck.
Bittersweet Isabel.
Yeah.
Prater
Yeah,
suit
that's
Isabel,
supposed to be
yeah.
Isabel after 2 years with the Doomslayer.
What the hell is in her hair? I fucking hate
Oh,
her.
bro, don't we just love the audio
Jingle bells.
listeners who can't see these things?
Right? Right? All they're
Look it up
getting all they're
yourself.
getting
Please.
all they're
You have to
getting
edit the images in when we say shit.
all they're getting is
You can do that,
James
can't you?
is James Belcher over here. That's all they're getting.
Yeah.
Prepare
But
to get edited out.
the thing is,
That's all they
we have
deserve,
this
baby.
powerful thing called editing, where our glorious leader could just put the image in.
Our
But does
fucking
he?
our fearless
No,
leader, as they
he'd
call
be too
Tom Nook.
lazy.
You don't know that. You haven't seen the edited episodes.
I haven't.
You're right. I haven't. You
What
haven't uploaded them on YouTube yet.
Yeah,
because
no, I haven't because I'm
why?
still trying to complete the logo.
So I'm not a furry,
True.
but Prater Isabel is kind of hot.
Okay, so there's the DeviantArt account.
Oh no! Oh no! My fucking
Is this just
I
the
think-
picture that
I-
I sent? You're saying is hot?
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
time. I think it's
agree,
time.
furry.
But
Gentlemen, I think it's time to end the episode.
yes,
think-
now that we've come out of furries,
Yeah.
let's do it.
I
Yeah,
think
sure,
I
sure.
think that we've
I
We?
think that's-
Oh, okay. So
I
one of
think
you is
that we've-
hiding behind me now.
I think that we've gone on long enough.
Yeah, I really don't think
Oh,
that we
man.
have too much more to add to the actual conversation.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah, there's
at
not
this
really
That's
much
point,
more to
true.
say about it because it is sort of an ongoing thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what they do moving forward. Because damn, like they really, really blew it out of the water with the new
They're
Doom
old
games,
school
I-
and they still make fantastic games.
I will say though,
Yeah.
I was in anticipation for Doom Eternal. I was really worried because of how fucking easy it would be to make it, like for it to go in the wrong direction.
Oh yeah.
And
Especially
because
being
of
under Bethesda
how
management.
many times like you've seen sequels that are just complete ass, complete hot steamy garbage.
Mhm.
I was really worried that it would be bad, but it fucking blew my expectations out of the
Well,
water.
because
Sure.
they got their hands on it, but then they were like, "Yeah, you keep doing you. You just have more money to make things now."
Also, because if I don't care if you are Todd Howard, if John Romero says we're
making
gonna
Doom my
do it
way.
this
Yeah,
way,
I mean, let's be honest. John Romero is the closest thing there is in this world to an actual living god of gaming. So, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
John
he
Romero.
does have the clout to say, "No, we're doing this," and everyone goes, "Okay, we're doing that, Mr. Romero."
Yes.
Like,
It doesn't
that's-
matter if you are
that's it.
Todd Howard. You don't argue with John Romero.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, and people don't like Todd Howard the level they like John Romero, so you
Mhm.
just straight not.
Yeah, that's because John Romero was cool as fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, John Romero's
He
a
is,
badass.
and Todd Howard very much is not, because he keeps making promises and then not following up on them.
There's gonna be
So-
NPCs in this game, guys.
It just works.
It just works.
It just works.
That's gonna be
Yep.
that's gonna be the title that we title the Bethesda episode, obviously.
It just
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, it just works. It just works, guys. And then
It really-
no, but
the
yeah,
emphasis
you're right.
is wrong
He's all
there.
like, "Hey, we're gonna update the game and add NPCs." Still no NPCs.
The emphasis is wrong there. It
That
shouldn't
shit's
be
still
it
not
just
there.
works. It should be it just works.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically.
it
Just
just
barely.
works.
But yeah,
Guys,
So,
have this fully developed game release as alpha version.
So we're ending our stream on Bethesda memes then,
Yeah,
which are tangentially related to id because id.
because it does it right and Bethesda does it so goddamn wrong.
And we had to talk about John Romero.
Yeah. We had to just talk shit for the one time, you know.
Listen, it's not the what do they call it? It's not the icon of sin if my head isn't on a stick inside of it.
I have to wonder with Doom Eternal. I have
that
to
would
wonder.
be-
You really,
That
yeah.
would be amazing. Hold on.
I
wanna
need
see
to
this.
know
I wanna look
clip.
this up. Doom Eternal icon
John
of
Romero's head on
sin.
a stick.
John Romero.
Hey, Gabe Newell eats a steak.
It pops up. Is it really? I want to know if it's there.
Dude,
That would be,
it would be fucking legendary if the Doom Eternal icon of sin has that same head on a stick in it.
I mean, in theory, it's the same icon that you fight in Doom 2, and the con makers just got
Kinda
into
brought
that
it back to
dimension
life.
and resurrected it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be nice if John Romero's head was on a stick in there still, or at
Apparently
least a
there's
skull was on a
references to
stick.
it.
Like I could totally see like a skull on a stick.
Holy shit! I love that
Is
there's
it?
a wiki page. Romero's head.
Romero's
Doom
head,
wiki.
yeah. Doom Wiki, Romero's head, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right. Anyway,
Nice.
are we done recording?
I think we're done.
We gotta do an outro, right?
I think we're done
This
with
has
our
been the
episode.
tutorial, and if you learned anything, which you probably did because we dropped a lot of sick knowledge, I guess you came to the wrong place. We really need to workshop that whole idea.
Nah, dude, it's fucking perfect. Just send it.
Send it to the elves. They'll fix it in post.
In case you weren't aware, the
As the
whole point of
dwarf.
that was I was doing a bit for this whole episode.
Yeah, no
about
shit. Fucking bruh.
that.
I'm like 6
All right,
levels of
goodbye,
contradiction ahead of you.
everybody. Everybody say goodbye now.
Deuces,
No.
bro. Peace out.
Peace.